childcare costs and high prices in general, repeating a pledge to boost U.S. energy production, arguing lowering those prices will reduce costs for everything. The U.S. will give thousands more armored vehicles to Ukraine, part of a new military aid package totaling $425 million. President Biden speaking with Ukraine's President Zelensky, who earlier unveiled a plan for victory against Russia to the Ukrainian parliament.
One crucial detail in the blueprint, that Ukraine is invited to join NATO before the war ends. President Zelensky says it'll show the Russian people that Putin's plan has failed. NATO says, yes, Ukraine will join someday, just not while it's at war. The Ukrainian leader believes his victory plan could end the conflict no later than next year.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A nationwide recall, first announced a week ago, has grown to 12 million pounds of processed food.
The recall is for meat and poultry products produced at the Bruce Pack processing plant in Durant, Oklahoma. It may be contaminated with listeria. The updated recall now includes ready-to-eat meals sent to schools and restaurants and major retailers, including Walmart, Target, Costco, Trader Joe's, and Kroger.
Fox's Jack Callahan. Traces of the bacteria were found in samples of chicken from the plant, but so far no confirmed illnesses related to it. Those recalled foods have the numbers 51205 inside or under the USDA inspection mark. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why he won't serve jail time. It's cloudy and 52. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Prosecutors in Marion County dropped 33 criminal charges against a man who damaged a senior living community.
The damage totaled more than $500,000. Police say it was Bradley Jones who did that. Last September, IMPD was called out to Neighbor Care of Chapel Hill, a senior living community on Indy's west side, where they found 57 cars with tires slashed and windows broken. And in one case, a woman says that she was working at her art desk when a brick crashed through her window. Jones will spend a year on probation, but he won't pay restitution because he doesn't have any money. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you want to solve the issue of guns and violence, Republican candidate for Governor Mike Braun says it's important to focus on where guns are going.
The key is to keep them out of the hands of criminals and the mentally ill. And if you do that job, everyone else can have their freedom, and it shouldn't be infringed because you're not doing the job that you got plenty of laws to do.
Braun talking to WIBC's Hammer and Nigel. Braun also says he's committed to lowering property taxes and health care costs. Gas prices are still increasing little by little. Today's average is $3.18 a gallon, which is up 3 cents from last week. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita says he will bring legal action against any entity that is not following the state's ban on sanctuary cities.
Rokita says he's been hearing from Hoosiers who say there's mass migration happening in places like Lake and St. Joseph counties.
Hardworking Hoosiers are sick and tired of paying the price for this left-wing nonsense, and our office will not back down from enforcing this new state law.
He says he's told those county leaders to get in compliance with that law. Rokita says he's heard that Monroe County is not in compliance with the law, so he's pursuing legal action against that county. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
WIBC News Time, 3:04. Traffic and weather next.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indy. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indy, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indy, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndy.com and grow your hair back today.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, good afternoon, Matt Baer.
What's up, Donnie looking downtown. A stall eastbound 70 at Meridian, Illinois, blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Harding Street. Southbound 65 completely closed at West Street. It will be for the next 16 days or until around October 31st early. So again, that's southbound 65 at West. If you're going southbound 65 trying to get into downtown, you will have to exit West Street. Traffic sponsored by Honda of Fishers. Fall brings falling leaves and falling prices. Visit Honda of Fishers now for great deals on new and used Hondas. Visit them in person or online at HondaofFishers.com. I'm Man Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast, brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We have an active freeze warning in our forecast this Wednesday night with clear skies, low temperatures dropping into the mid to maybe even low 30s, winds light and variable in direction, and tomorrow looks to be sunny and a little bit warmer. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Arsutis for 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show up next. I'm Donnie Burgess on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
Oh, man. It's go time. You knew it was coming. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige today. And, Jeff, we've reached that point in the campaign season where everybody's in the red zone here. Election day's right around the corner, and things are getting a little nasty here in the state of Indiana.
They are. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, and we have reached the punched in the face portion of the election cycle.
So you may have heard Rob talking about this earlier today on the Kendall and Casey show, but this flyer that got sent out about the Libertarian candidate, Donald Rainwater, boy, this thing is wild. So the Indiana Republicans, I guess they're feeling a little heat in this governor's race that some of the Rainwater Libertarians might steal votes away from Mike Braun. So they put out this scathing mailer. And on the mailer, it's a picture of Donald Rainwater, and it says, failing to pay child support, held in contempt by a judge, losing custody of his child, deadbeat dad, perennial loser. I mean, this thing is strong that they mailed out.
Has it been fact-checked? Do we know? Is any of that true, or are we just throwing things to see what sticks?
See, that's the thing. If any of that is not true, then we're going to have some legal stuff featuring Donald Rainwater here. But the fact that the Republicans thought that maybe this governor's race is a little too close for comfort, we need to attack the guy in third place. So I started texting Rob back and forth earlier today. Now, Jeff, tell me whose side you're on here. Rob, thinking about this from a political strategist perspective, says, hey, all is fair in love and politics. It's blood sport. There's a lot of stuff on the line here. I, on the other hand, as a resident of the city of Indianapolis, Marion County, I look at the way the Republican Party is spending the donation money. You're going after the third place candidate here. You're not going after Jennifer McCormick. You're not taking that money and putting better candidates into races in Marion County. You're calling the Libertarian candidate, who's a distant third place, a deadbeat dad. Is that the best use of your money?
Right. I side with you on this. I have seen Jennifer McCormick ads during football games that I would spend every dime to make sure she doesn't get into office. So I agree with you. It seems a little punching down, I guess, going after the third place candidate. They must have internal polling numbers that say that that's something they should be doing. But after meeting Senator Braun yesterday, yesterday, good friends. After meeting him yesterday, when he came out of the studio, Senator Braun, hopefully Governor Braun, I really like the guy, and I obviously he's not behind any of this type of tomfoolery. But I agree with you. I say just go after her. That should be enough for people to make an easy decision.
It just feels like this is such a Republican Indiana type of move. Because in the last couple of years, again, you just moved back to Indy, but go back to the previous mayoral election where we got stuck with another 4 years of Boss Hogsett because he couldn't find another gig, so he had to come back and be the mayor here. The quote-unquote Republican candidate, who's probably going to win a House seat this year, that ran for the mayor's office, might as well have been a Democrat. Jefferson Shreve. Loved Boss Hogsett's gun-grabbing plan, loved his crime plan here in Indy. It was just such a slap in the face, and I keep telling my son this all the time because he's a political science student at the University of Indianapolis. As long as you're not a total moron, you can work forever in the state of Indiana being a political advisor, because this, to me, seems like a big, colossal waste of money some advisor said you need to send out.
Yeah, are we at a spot, and you can probably weigh in on this better than I. Like you said, I just moved back here from LA where everything is far left and nothing makes sense. We had Mayor Karen Bass, who possibly was the worst candidate in the history of candidates, and she was elected, I think, 70% to 30%. Is it the city of Indianapolis? Is that where it's tough to get a common sense conservative elected in Indianapolis, but go outside of the state overwhelmingly red, correct?
That is 100% spot on. Indianapolis will vote for a stapler over a good qualified Republican at this point. And it didn't used to be this way. You go back just 10 years ago, and there was a Republican mayor in Indianapolis, and Greg Ballard. But times have changed so much now, and it's a woke prosecutor, it's a ridiculous mayor, it's everybody that's anti-police, soft on crime, and that's what the city has gotten accustomed to now.
Well, it seems it almost explains the need for the Electoral College in the presidential election. Because think about it, if it really was just down to 317 area code, for here, the entire state would be liberal. And that's how it would be across the country. If we only went with the popular vote, then New York and Los Angeles, Chicago would, decide the fate of the entire country. So tough for Indianapolis, but good to see the numbers statewide that people are starting to realize how bogus all of this crazy DEI wokeism really is.
Another interesting candidate situation right now is Danny Lopez. Now, Danny Lopez, he puts out this commercial, and I don't think this is a hot take, but apparently to Greg Doyle and the Indy Star, it is. His whole angle is guys should not play women's sports.
What?
I know. Hopefully everybody was sitting down when they heard that, but Danny Lopez doesn't feel like biological men should be playing girls' sports. And there's a commercial ripping his opponent who believes in that. But then you've got Greg Doyle of the Indy Star, fresh off not being allowed to cover the Indiana Fever for creeping out Caitlin Clark, now going after Danny Lopez, who is also an employee of the Indiana Pacers. That's his day job when he's not running for office. Basically calling this dude every name under the sun, Jeff, because he wants to protect women's sports.
Yeah, it's interesting because, again, it's so basic. If you think about where we've arrived after 10 years ago, wasn't Bruce Jenner wearing the evening dress, walking into the ESPYs? People are clapping like trained seals, but it was awkward. It was shocking. Today, it's so normal. And Greg Doyle, I think you used the right term, creepy. There's something about Greg that's creepy. And what's interesting is I don't know if he believes what he says or if he's just kowtowing to what he thinks people, want to hear, the people who sign his paycheck. But my goodness, I just, it's a little hacky now to talk about it, but guys playing girls' sports, how does it make any sense to anyone? The volleyball team out west, I forget what college.
San Jose
State refusing, to play teams with biological males, and people are in an uproar over it. But I don't see why. How does that make any sense?
And this is the same sports writer at the Star that put out this article that was very bizarre a couple of years ago, where he admits he's cheated on his wife, but then wants us to feel sympathy for him. So this is the type of weirdo that the Indy Star is basically making the face of their franchise. When you're the main opinion guy, whether it be political or sports at the Indy Star, you're the face of the franchise, and that's who they've hitched their wagon to.
Yeah, his creepy moment with Caitlin Clark was so perfectly horrible. Here's Caitlin coming into the city. We have a chance for the next Peyton Manning. You know, this is a big moment for everyone. And that dude creeps her out, creeps everyone in the room out, and good for them saying, you can't cover the team anymore. Maybe more teams should consider doing that.
And the thing is, Danny Lopez, the dude he's taking shots at here, is a genuinely good dude. I've sat next to him at Pacer games before. He's been on this show before. Just a nice guy, good dude. So if you're taking shrapnel from Greg Doyle, wear that as a badge of honor. It's a big night tonight. Coming up a little bit later on, Kamala Harris will sit down with Brett Baer of Fox News. We're being told this is 30 minutes unedited. Now, it's not live, Jeff, but it's 30 minutes unedited. Brett Baer asking Kamala Harris questions.
Well, why is it not live then? This makes absolutely no sense to me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there listening who love Fox News. I watch some of Fox News. I love Gutfeld. I love Jesse Waters. I really can't stand the rest of them at this point because I don't trust Fox News. So when I hear Brett Baer is the one who's going to be talking to Kamala Harris, if it's live, I'm totally fine with it. Let's see what happens. But the fact that they are now going to present us with the 30 minutes that they deem acceptable, I just don't see what that does other than provide some cover for Kamala Harris. Trump, I mean, my goodness, the guy's live 4 hours a day. At this point, you can't get him to stop being live. And here's a great chance for Kamala to sit for 30 minutes and prove to us that she's not a dolt. And instead, they're going to put it on tape.
Now, we do have a little preview of tonight. Okay. Thanks to the magic of AI, if you're unable to watch the interview tonight, here's a little bit of what you could expect.
Hammer and Nigel present interview preview of Brett Baer and Kamala Harris.
Madam Vice President, thank you for joining us. Please tell us how you are going to be a better president than your boss, Joe Biden.
So I grew up in a middle-class family, and holistically, bears are not supposed to talk. People talk, but bears didn't talk. So I feel like it's a direct effect of climate change that I'm sitting here talking to a human bear.
Madam Vice President, my name is Brett Baer. I'm not an actual bear or some human bear hybrid. It's just my name, Brett Baer.
Bears aren't supposed to talk, but here we are, unburdened by what has been. And what has been is you are a bear that is talking.
I honestly don't know how to respond to that. You may be the dumbest person I've ever met, and I've met Joe Biden.
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family.
Sure.
And I know a talking bear when I see one.
Look, I am not a bear. It is just my name. Do you hear me, you moron? I am not a bear.
Honestly, that is something I would expect a talking bear to say.
Sweet Jesus.
And this has been Interview Preview from Hammer and Nigel.
That's what I think you're going to hear tonight when Brett Baer has that conversation with Kamala Harris. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Yeah, Hammer looking at eastbound 70 at Meridian, Illinois. That is a stall causing stop-and-go traffic back to Harding. Now southbound at 65 or forced stop at West Street because southbound 65 is closed at West Street for 16 days or until October 31st early morning. This is a bridge maintenance project. Several ramps are closed as well. Check out at WIBC Traffic. The information's there. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Again, Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige, who is out recovering from a blister taint. We're going to do something we haven't done in a long time. We're going to play a round of Am I a Horrible Person?
Hammer and Nigel present Am I a Horrible Person?
Dude, you're awful.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
You're such a bad person. Like, all the way through to your core.
So, Jeff, as you may know, I just got back from Florida. Had a very relaxing, great vacation with the family.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you. Got a little color.
Yeah.
Feel good. But there was one moment that brought joy to my cold, dark heart. So I'm getting ready to get into the big swimming pool at the resort, right? There's this kid named Scotty, and he's sitting up there by the steps. And anytime the kids are sitting by the steps, it's difficult for people to get in and out of the swimming pool. And his mom is just sitting up there on the chair, right? Not paying a bit of attention. I think she's got Britney Spears' book, and she's reading Britney's book.
Okay.
There's a fatter young man, probably about 10 years old, that wants to get into the pool. He kind of looks like the catcher from the movie The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls kid. So he tries to get in, but little Scotty is sitting there. Scotty turns around. No! So fat kid just sits there. He tries to take a different route. Scotty puts his hands out. No! And he puts his hands on the steps of the pool. It was at this point that the fat kid with the freckles and the red hair stomps on Scotty's hand and walks into the pool, and Scotty starts crying. And I, however, am on the other side of the pool laughing hysterically because I think justice was served. I think karma was just. Am I a horrible person for laughing at little Scotty getting stepped on by the fat kid?
No, I'm definitely team fat kid in this one. And now, was it Scotty's mom who was reading the Britney Spears book?
Yes.
Okay, so the whole family's terrible, right? So we understand right away that there's a problem there. And I hope that the kid who did the stomping, feels good about it and knows that he did the right thing. 239-9393. I want your feedback right now. 239-9393. Am I a horrible person for laughing at little Scotty getting stepped on by the fat kid? Scotty starts crying, but I think he had it coming. I'm a 47-year-old grown man that laughed at a kid getting hurt. Am I a horrible person? 239-9393.
Man, I love the way my brand new Galaxy concrete garage floor looks. Those guys did an amazing job. They were in and out within a day. My old garage floor was dirty and gross and cracked, and their amazing staff came in and within a day made it look brand new. It's not epoxy, by the way. It's better and 4 times stronger. I spend a ton of time out in my garage, and my new Galaxy concrete garage floor is out of this world. Check out their website and see pictures and get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call their office at 317-751-9070.
As the summer fades and the cool breeze of fall sets in, it's the perfect time to get back to the basics, especially when it comes to your financial future. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe in simplifying your retirement plan. Our team of advisors help you build a customized retirement strategy that is designed to help reduce risk, increase income, and mitigate tax. Whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your plan, we're here to guide you every step of the way. It's never too early or too late to make sure your financial future is secure. Text BASICS to 888-262-1104 to download your complimentary retirement planning toolkit today. That's BASICS to 888-262-1104. Howard Bailey Financial. Back to the basics. Forward to your future. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. To learn more, eligible members call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Our Turn Back the Time sale has been so crazy good that we're now extending it through Monday, November the 4th. Everything from Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, dining, bedroom, it's all on sale at pre-pandemic prices with free delivery within 75 miles of our store. You will never see these prices again. Hurry in to Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Sale ends Monday.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Hi, this is John Schmitz. Are you frustrated with slow or no response from your elected officials? Your U.S. Congressman is one of those politicians that takes your vote for granted. Let's send a message to all politicians. If you don't meet us out in the neighborhoods, we will vote you out. You deserve better. I'll be there for you. I'm committed to work to preserve your freedoms. A vote for Schmitz will ensure less government interference and more control over your own life. I'm ready to work tirelessly for you. Visit johnschmitzforcongress.com and see how your vote can make a real difference. I'm John Schmitz. I approve this message, paid for by Schmitz for Indiana.
Can you hear me? So can your customers.
Get your message heard. Text business to 71007 now.
Get results with Radio 1.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard Air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel present Am I a Horrible Person?
Dude, you're awful.
Horrible. You're such a bad person. Like, all the way through to your core.
So at the beach resort in beautiful Sandestin on the Emerald Coast, getting into the pool, there's a little brat named Scotty, and he won't let anybody else in. He's sitting on the steps. He's stretching his arms out. There was a fat kid that wanted to get in the pool. Now, Scotty and fat kid are around the same age. Fatty maybe a year or two older, but it's close. So after multiple attempts to go around Scotty sitting on the top step, fat kid stomps on his hand and makes his way into the water. Scotty cries. I laugh. I'm a 47-year-old grown man laughing at a brat who got hurt at the pool. Does that make me a horrible person? Amy, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hello.
Hey, am I a horrible person, Amy?
No.
Why is that?
Definitely not. Because it's kind of one of those things where, you win or you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
I like it.
The bully, was not letting him in the pool, and the kid wanted to get in the pool, so get out of the way. His mom should have stepped in.
Well, his mom was too busy reading Britney's book, so, the fat kid had to step in and do what everybody in that crowd wanted to have happen. Thank you. Larry is up next. Larry, am I a horrible person?
Yes, you are on a couple of levels.
Okay, explain.
First off, you didn't take video of it to share with us so that we could participate.
Oh, that's a great point.
And then secondly, your poor longtime co-host is out with what was that, a taint blister?
Blister taint, yes.
Oh, okay. So he can't even be there to ask you, why should you think you're in a position to call that other kid fatty?
That's a good point, too. You're absolutely right, Larry. You've brought some interesting counterpoints to the conversation. Dan is up next. Dan, am I a horrible person?
Absolutely not. I'm a 52-year-old grown man, and I feel the exact same way. Hey, I got one thing to say about that. Let's bring back entrance blocking, hand stomping. Let's make that great again.
We need to create the official open like we used to do for Joe Biden. Get ready for entrance blocking, hand stomping fat kid at the pool. I love it. Let's go to Rob. Rob, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
You are totally not wrong. You should have just enjoyed that. You should have stood up, clapped, got everybody's attention, pointed at the kid, and made him feel like the thing that he was, and make sure the parents know that they did a horrible job raising their child.
Thank you, Rob. So, Jeff, let's just say you are at the pool. You're sitting on the other side. You're reading your Britney Spears book, and you see me laughing at little Scotty that got hurt. And I stand up, almost like a scene out of Hoosiers or Rudy, and I start a slow clap. Do you stand up and join in?
I think so. I think the entire pool just kind of gets behind you and says, nice job. I agree with one of the callers. You got to get that on video just to document it. I also disagree with the man. Was he calling you husky?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to consider myself country strong.
But is that an ongoing thing on this program? Do people refer to you as husky?
Well, I've lost 50 pounds in the last year. So if you think I'm husky now, I was a big fat bastard about a year ago.
Yeah, there's no huskiness in the studio right now. So I was
thank you.
I was surprised by that comment. But other than that, I think you did the right thing. Actually, when you think about it, you know how people at sporting events now, Tiger Woods for the putt, everyone has their cameras up or at basketball games. I think it's great that you just sat and enjoyed it. You just took it in. You know, that was a moment for you to remember in your mind, not to share on Facebook.
My wife doesn't let me have my camera at the pool anymore since I jumped in drunk in Vegas and got everything wet. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Pacers Primetime Packs gives you the choice between two jam-packed big game ticket packs featuring 5 marquee matchups, including the Lakers and Knicks or the Warriors and Celtics, starting at only $40 per game.
Halliburton will have to hurry. A long three is good.
You'll also score a bonus 6-game free Pacers playoff presale access and a post-game player experience.
Turner with the dunk. Give him one for that.
Pacers Primetime Packs are available only for a limited time. Select your pack at pacers.com/primetime.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You may want to check your fridge just in case. 52 degrees, I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Over 12 million pounds of meat and poultry produced from a plant in Durant, Oklahoma may not be safe.
It may be contaminated with listeria. The updated recall now includes ready-to-eat meals sent to schools and restaurants and major retailers, including Walmart, Target, Costco, Trader Joe's, and Kroger. Although so far there are no confirmed illnesses related to it, the recalled foods can be identified by the establishment number 51205 inside or under the USDA mark of inspection. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
The state of Indiana has a ban on sanctuary cities, and Indiana's Attorney General Todd Rokita says it's a ban he will enforce.
You know, illegal aliens coming across our unprotected southern border for the last 4 years have caused a jump in crime, fentanyl overdoses, human trafficking, and an increased financial burden on state and local programs.
Rokita claims he's heard of problems about mass migrations happening in places like Lake and St. Joseph counties. The U.S. government is threatening to restrict military aid to Israel if the country doesn't improve the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip within a month. Israel has been accused of disrupting humanitarian aid meant for Palestinians in Gaza, at least 42,000 of which have been killed during Israeli attacks. A joint investigation between New York and Indiana State Police landed a man from Warsaw, Indiana, behind bars Tuesday morning.
Tyler Harmon was taken into custody at his home in Warsaw because police say he both contacted and met up with a 14-year-old girl in New York to engage in sexual activity. Harmon is 25 years old. They say he used the social media apps Snapchat and Omegle to get in touch with her. He's facing nearly 30 criminal charges. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You can expect Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson back for Sunday's game against the Miami Dolphins. Richardson has been out hurt since he injured his hip against Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago.
He was playing really good ball early in that game, and he's been putting in really good work. And, you know, good work leads to good play. That's the nature of this league. That's practice, it's meetings, it's work on an off day like today.
That's Colts offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter. WIBC News Time, 3:34. Traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and Halloween is coming. I'm a big fan of Zero Res because their platinum cleaning systems are truly the best you can find. And with all the spooky stuff that's ended up in your carpets, just know that Zero Res systems can and will safely and effectively remove all the deeply embedded dirt, dander, and even the scary bacteria in your carpets and floors. The game changer is the patented ZR water that uses no soap, leaves no residue, and there are no harsh chemicals because they just aren't needed to get things really clean. That's why Zero Res is my go-to carpet cleaning company, because I know that they can really get rid of all of the uglies. I just love these folks. And remember, there's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home, and that's your air ducts. This month, take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Now mention WIBC, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129, plus you get $75 off air duct cleaning too. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZeroResIndy.com. That's ZeroResIndy.com.
With a look at traffic, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Donnie. Eastbound 70 at the south end of downtown. Stall has cleared. We had one at west. And right now we're just slow from Harding to Meridian, Illinois on eastbound 70. Eastbound 465 south side slow in pockets. 70 past 31. And a reminder, downtown southbound 65, it's closed for 16 days. Bridge maintenance project. And several on-ramps are closed as well. Details on this at WIBC Traffic. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of their locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Wednesday night, we're looking at clear skies and light winds, so temperatures are going to be dropping pretty significantly. Don't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow morning around the 34-degree mark with some frost around the region. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-291-0198. That's 800-291-0198. 800-291-0198.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
It is on like Donkey Kong, the World Food Championships. Hammer here. I cannot wait. November 8th through the 12th, the city is going to welcome over 300 cooking teams. What's that mean for you? Samples, food, barbecue, fire, all the things that make life worth living. Get your tickets now. I'm telling you, this is going to be insane. WorldFoodChampionships.com. It's like the best tailgate ever. Get your tickets now, and I'll see you there.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You know, we had a caller earlier kind of remind me we haven't done the official check-in with Joe Biden in a while. So I thought, you know what? Let's make today the day we do that. Let's not waste any more time. Let's check in with wheelin', dealin', hair sniffing, kiss stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs.
If I'm elected, we're going to cure cancer.
The president has a big dick.
It's been a while since we've heard from the old goat, because mainly he's just been sitting on a beach doing his best Jimmy Carter impression. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. But Joe Biden stumping for Kamala Harris. Do you, Jeff Boggs, think Kamala Harris wants Joe Biden to even say her name anymore?
It's interesting because I was talking about this with someone this weekend. Who are the people that Kamala really wants out there? She doesn't want Hillary Clinton out there.
No.
And Joe Biden, I mean, who's he going to bring in as a vote? Joe Biden, even Jill Biden doesn't want to be around Joe Biden anymore. So I think that he's persona non grata right now.
So Joe Biden's up there on the stage and he's doing Joe Biden things, which is not making a damn bit of sense. Take a listen.
She beat Trump so badly in the debate, he's scared to death to beat her again. That's a fact.
All right, now I'm going to have Allison play this again for you, but I want you to listen closely to what he's about to say. Quote, she beat Trump so badly in the debate, he's scared to death to beat her again?
She beat Trump so badly in the debate, he's scared to death to beat her again. That's a fact.
I kind of miss the gibberish, man. I'm not going to lie.
I do, too, a little bit. You know, we used to do jokes about great moments in presidential speeches, and it would be JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, and Reagan, tear down that wall, and then Biden would always be the joke because it would make no sense. Now, you can't keep up with it. Who knows what the guy's saying?
And also, nothing to see here at all. This is perfectly fine that a sitting U.S. president who still has multiple months left in his term, says he wants to see his political rival thrown in prison.
The same guy with 3 other major cases waiting for him when he loses. And by the way, 34 felonies. And so far, he hadn't got sentenced. He got the sentence kicked back, but I want to watch that sentence. Look, Donald Trump's not running for you. He's running for himself. I think he's running to stay out of jail.
Again, nothing to see here. Just a bitter old goat wanting to see his political rival thrown in jail.
Man, if they're talking like this now, imagine, God forbid, if they win the election, because it's open season now. What do we have? 2 assassination attempts.
At least.
Here's Biden talking about beating Trump, and it's pretty creepy. But you do have to give him a little leeway because that Joe Biden obviously was recently found mentally unstable to stand trial for corruption. So
that's fancy talk for he's too stupid to be found guilty.
Yes.
Let me put that in Beach Grove vernacular there. He's too stupid to be found guilty.
That's a great book title for his book, isn't it?
But the one thing I did notice there, did you hear, like, the crowd was at least engaging? They were energetic. Maybe they were trying to help him. I don't know. But you don't hear that juice when Kamala Harris speaks anywhere, unless Megan Thee Stallion is about to come on the stage.
Well, I think the Biden thing, though, the applause, if you've ever seen halftime of basketball games where they put the babies on the court and they're, people are like kind of, come on, Jimmy, come on. Right. That's the Biden applause. Kamala, no one likes her, so nobody's going to cheer for her anyway. They just hate Trump.
Kamala Harris went on with Charlemagne the God, which is a predominantly black radio host for a black audience, but he's been dabbling more into politics the last couple of years, right? He used to just do like a traditional FM style morning show, and it was syndicated nationally. But he's been doing a little bit more politics. You can see him on Comedy Central, filling in on The Daily Show once in a while. So now a lot of people look at Charlemagne and think he's some sort of political insider, right? He's the hot take political guy. So he brings on Kamala Harris. And take a listen to this total lie about the border that Kamala Harris lays out.
But doesn't the Biden administration have to take some blame for the border, though? A lot of the blame? Because, the first 3 years, y'all did get a lot of things wrong with the border.
No, Charlemagne, within hours of being inaugurated, the first bill we passed before we did the Inflation Reduction Act, before we did the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, before we did the Safer Communities Act to deal with gun violence, first thing we dropped was a bill to fix the broken immigration system.
Which is a complete and utter load of crap. The first thing they did was to stop construction on the wall. And we know this because the pieces that were supposed to be used in construction are still sitting across the southern border of the United States. And they went back and took away everything Donald Trump did to secure the border. So does anybody believe that when she says it, Jeff?
I don't think so. I mean, I think people, there are no independents anymore. Everyone's made up their mind. But what's interesting when I hear that, first of all, Charlemagne, you are correct. He is now trying to dabble more into politics. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. The dude picked a great name for himself. And, that goes a long way. It's like Carrot Top. If he used his real name, maybe not that big, but everyone remembers Carrot Top.
Keith the God doesn't have the same ring to it.
Or Gary, if his name was Gary Miller. But for Kamala, I also want to point out, my goodness, does Maya Rudolph do a great Kamala? Because I hear that, and I'm wondering if it's an SNL bit. She has nailed Kamala. But as far as content goes, nobody believes anything they're saying anymore, so what does it matter?
Here's a little bit more from that interview, town hall, whatever they want to call it. And we're talking taxpayer-funded reparations, baby.
So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position. In terms of my immediate plan, I will tell you a few of the following. One, as it relates to the economy, which is a lot of what you have addressed. Look, I grew up in the middle class.
No, come on. Don't give us that. Don't give us that redirection. Answer the question. We get it. You're going to say, I grew up in a middle-class family every time you don't know what you're talking about.
Have we fact-checked that, though? Because her parents were college professors, right? They worked in academia. I guess I don't know what's defined as middle class anymore, but I guess if you say it enough, people just believe it. I don't believe she was middle class. As for the reparations, when she talks about studying possible reparations, couldn't they have done it the last 4 years yet again? But only now it's coming up. I have to think that these voters are smarter than this.
So you might be asking yourself, wait a minute, why is she talking about reparations? Why is she going on with Charlemagne the God when she's ignored, media like this, like you said, for the last 4 years? Well, according to CNN, polling shows black men specifically are leaving Kamala Harris in droves.
This is the Democratic margin among black men under the age of 45 in presidential elections. You go back to November of 2012, what do you see? You see Obama by 81. Clinton only won him by 63. Then we're all the way down to Biden last time around by 53. A tremendous drop already. And then you take a look at the average of the most recent polls, and Kamala Harris is up by only 41 points. That is about half the margin that Obama won them by back in November of 2012. And this, I think, is, when Barack Obama goes in last week when he was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, essentially talking to young black men, he made it seem like it was a Kamala Harris specific problem. This is part of a long-standing trend of young black men moving away from the Democratic Party. We're looking once again at younger black men. It looks like the worst Democratic performance since 1960, since JFK versus Richard Nixon.
Worst performance with black men since 1960 in a presidential race, at least according to the polling.
Yeah, and I have a serious question here. I'm looking at those numbers. Obama 81, Kamala 41. Okay, so, and I looked today at the Hispanic votes for Trump. The guy's, gaining 11 points in the Hispanic vote. Yet every headline I see, every time I click on a headline, the polls are tied. So no matter what happens, I click on a headline, the polls are tied. At what point aren't they tied? Like, how much? You can't lose 40 points with African-American males under 40 and still have the polls tied. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet and Security Edge plus Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Unlimited Mobile. And ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
If you are a single or widowed woman, well, the statistics aren't very pretty. You run into a far greater risk of running out of money in retirement than any man or married couple. Hello there, it's Terry Stacy, and the last thing you want to be is 80 years old, full of life, and flat broke. Discover the strategies that could ensure you never run out of money in retirement with Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy. I know Bill and I trust Bill, and I'm so thankful that he was able to help my mom too. I don't put my name on any random Joe, but I'm here to say you can count on Bill Demery. Call Bill at 317-349-5212. That's 317-349-5212. 317-349-5212. Call Bill right now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, diamond lovers. Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. When it's this important, you want someone who knows exactly how to work with your budget. Not against it. Someone who knows you deserve a piece more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've always sourced our diamonds and gemstones directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. So many in stock and ready to take home today. Create your dream engagement ring in 3 easy steps. Or pick a perfectly preset ring that's created by our in-house design team. Browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts for everyone in your life, from diamond and gemstone studs to must-have tennis bracelets and beautiful birthstone necklaces. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company is your go-to destination for fine jewelry. Visit shaneco.com and come in to see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
BW HVAC Plumbing and Electrical is here to make the fall cozy, comfortable, and hassle-free. Go to bplusw.com/radio to schedule your appointment today. B&W is your independent American Standard Air dealer.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
There is still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. No subcontractors ever. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Matt Baer, what's up?
Southbound 65 slow from Whitestown Parkway down to the Dog Leg. Eastbound 465 stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. There is still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. No subcontractors ever. Big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
54 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige, and you were trying to talk to me during the commercial break about Independence Day. I was kind of half-ass paying attention. What are you talking about?
Well, first of all, apologies. I know that you're doing a show, and I'm like asking you questions, so sorry about that. Allison, you too, sorry. Okay, so this weekend, and this is important to me. We've talked a lot of politics. This weekend, I had some free time, and I watched the movie Independence Day, the Will Smith out of space. A classic movie, right. I got a question for you. The scene where the big spaceship is hovering over Los Angeles, Will Smith goes out to get the newspaper in the front lawn, And he doesn't see it yet. And then he does the dramatic turn. Vivica A. Fox comes out, Indiana's own Vivica A. Fox. And then they both notice it, that a giant spaceship is hovering over Los Angeles. Later that day, she still goes to her strip club job. She still goes to the strip club and works, even though they know that the planet has been overtaken by aliens. Is that some of the best dedication you've ever seen to a job? I was blown away by it.
If you don't go get on that pole, then the aliens win. That's the way that I was raised. I don't know about the way you guys are, but you don't let the aliens win. If you're a stripper, go strip. If you're digging graves, go over there and dig the best grave you can. Life goes on.
I love that because I do think that would happen. The strip club was full, so good for her.
Jeff Boggs filling in for Big Nige. Don't go anywhere. Top stories coming up next. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Real stories with
I had the ring already. She had made it very clear what kind of ring she wanted.
Yep.
I pretended that I was going to kneel and picked up a pine cone instead of pulling out a ring.
What a jerk. But when I saw that ring, I was like, oh, he did good.
I really love Amy. I really, really genuinely love Amy.
I love you too.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Make your game day experience the best it can be. The Colts VIP Tailgate, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration, exclusively from BullseyeEventGroup.com. The party is on for every Colts home game with an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink VIP experience and DJ Skids providing the entertainment. Live large and pregame like a pro. If you need tickets to the game, Bullseye Event Group can help you in that department too. Make sure you're part of the party before the next Colts home game. Go to BullseyeEventGroup.com. That's BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. 0% for 60 months is back. Get 0% APR for 60 months on every new 2024 Lincoln Navigator and get a $4,000 discount. You can also take $3,000 off every new 2024 Lincoln Corsair, 70 available. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Well-qualified buyers with approved credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Taxes and dealer fees extra. Stock L24401, MSRP 107425. Stock L24284, MSRP 43435. See dealer for complete details.
Truck drivers, are you tired of missing out on valuable time at home? At Midwest Logistics Systems, you can find a local dedicated job that gets you home every day. Plus, we offer predictable Monday through Friday schedules with occasional Saturdays. As an MLS driver, you'll haul 100% no-touch freight, earn performance and safety bonuses, and have access to full benefits. Don't wait. Upgrade your driving job today. Search jobs and apply now at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com. That's MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm confused. After 40 years, people still tell me that they have seen another spa that's as good as a Royal Spa. I've given tours to engineering groups who see our operation and ask, how can anyone buy from others when Royal Spa products are so much better? The answer is that lots of people don't take the time to understand the unbelievable differences. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, an Indianapolis man is not going to jail for his crime. Ryan Hedrick explains why. Indiana's Republican candidate for governor explains why he should get your pick, and how the state attorney general plans to handle migration. Those stories and more next from the Technology Recycler Studios. I'm Donnie Burgess. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's now 4 o'clock, time for Fox News Radio.
A win for President Biden at the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The justices declining to block a federal regulation aimed at limiting pollution from coal-fired power plants while the legal fight plays out. More than 20 states, mostly Republican-led, have challenged that rule along with industry groups, accusing the EPA of overstepping its authority and imposing standards impossible to meet. The rule requires many coal-fired plants to capture 90% of their carbon emissions or shut down within 8 years. Former President Trump pledging to reduce high prices, boost border security, and support IVF at a Fox News all-women town hall.
We really are the party for IVF. We want fertilization, and it's all the way.
But Vice President Harris telling reporters,
let's not be distracted by his choice of words. The reality is his actions have been very harmful to women and families in America on this issue.
She's now in Pennsylvania holding an event with Republicans supporting her before her first Fox News interview airs 2 hours from now on Special Report with Brett Baer. Consumers stuck with subscriptions they don't want are about to get some help from the Federal Trade Commission, now mandating that businesses adopt a click-to-cancel rule.
It means they must have a customer's permission before locking them into subscriptions, free trials, and automatic renewals. Consumers told the commission it's easy to get services but hard to end them when the rule was proposed last year. FTC Chair Lena Khan called the measure overdue.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Under the new FTC rule, customers who subscribe to something in person can end the deal online, and those who signed up using an app no longer need to contact a live person to cancel. Stocks finish higher. The Dow with a new record close, up 337 points to 43,077. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why he won't be behind bars. You've got 54 degrees, partly sunny skies. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 4:02. He caused over $500,000 in damage to cars, homes, and other property.
But he's not going to jail. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Bradley Jones vandalized Neighbor Care of Chapel Hill, a senior living community on Indy's west side last year. The cops say he damaged 57 cars, slashed tires, broke windshields, and damaged 3 more homes. Jones was sentenced to 1 year on probation with some GPS monitoring, but the Marion County prosecutor dropped 33 criminal charges against Jones. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Republican candidate for governor Mike Braun says he's on the side of freedom and says Democrat Jennifer McCormick is not.
My opponent McCormick admits that she voted for Hillary Clinton, wanted to work in the Biden-Harris administration. And if you want that, you're not really interested in freedom and opportunity. You're going to have government swallow you up.
Braun talking to WIBC's Hammer and Nigel. They'll debate October 24th. Indiana ranks as one of the least politically engaged states, says financial website Wallet Hub. Low voter registration is part of the reason why.
Maryland residents ranked most engaged, followed by Virginia, New Jersey, Oregon, and Washington.
Wallet Hub analyst Chip Lupo. If an entity in Indiana is not following the state's ban on sanctuary cities, State Attorney General Todd Rokita says he will take legal action.
In fact, he already is. I'm Sean Herrick. Rokita says he's pursuing legal action against Monroe County for not getting in compliance with state law.
You know, illegal aliens coming across our unprotected southern border for the last 4 years have caused a jump in crime, fentanyl overdoses, human trafficking, and an increased financial burden on state and local programs.
On Wednesday morning, he also said he's warning leaders in St. Joseph and Lake counties because he's heard that there's been mass migration going on there. Sean Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
News time, 4:04.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indy. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indy, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indy, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndy.com and grow your hair back today.
With traffic on the 5s at 405, here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, Tony, crash south side, eastbound 465 and I-69. That right lane is closed. Slow to the White River, then stop back to I-70. Eastbound 70, stop and go from Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. Now, we have a full closure downtown. It's southbound 65 at West Street. Bridge maintenance project for the next 16 days. Southbound 65 completely shut down at West, and that's where we have to exit. In the meantime, on the approach to that exit, we do have stopped traffic barely moving from 29th down to West Street. Keep in mind, if you do use that exit, you will be pushed into downtown. Traffic sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIVC Traffic.
And now the forecast brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We have an active freeze warning in our forecast this Wednesday night with clear skies, low temperatures dropping into the mid to maybe even low 30s, winds light and variable in direction, and tomorrow looks to be sunny and a little bit warmer. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Sutis for 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show up next. I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Man, we're having a good time today. Hopefully you guys are too. Thank you so much for tuning in to this little nickel and dime pony show we call the Hammer and Nigel Show. You guys helped make us number one. God bless you. Ooh. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. Do you have an update where Nigel may be?
Yeah, I know we're not supposed to officially talk about it, but I just want to send out thoughts and prayers to all the doctors at the Indiana Anal Leakage Center.
Oh, good.
And hopefully everything get well soon, Nige.
Team Nige, right? Praying for Nige. That's Jeff Boggs, by the way, writer for some of your favorite programs on television, including Letterman's program. When did you write?
I like how you said Letterman's program. The Late Show with David Letterman.
I didn't know if it was late night or late show, and I didn't want to get into like a big back and forth on it because it's different, but it was not.
I feel you. I was there in 94 through 98.
94 through 98.
Yeah, CBS, The Late Show.
Okay.
And you had to answer the phones, The Late Show. If you said Late Show, you get a call from somebody yelling at you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, true.
Man, who was the guy that was yelling?
Well, you never know who was calling. Like, there are times when Bruce Willis would be calling in to do a pre-interview, and if you answer Late Show, so the people, sometimes Dave would call in. You know, he needs to talk to someone. This is before cell phones. That's how long ago it was.
Right.
And if you answered Late Show, you got in trouble.
That's dumb.
It's crazy.
Like Sky Dome was like that in Toronto. It wasn't the Sky Dome. It was just Sky Dome.
The Ohio State University.
Right. Earlier in the program, we talked about how Kamala Harris, she's got a big interview with Brett Baer on Fox News tonight. She did that radio interview town hall with Charlemagne the God. So now let's focus on the other guy. Number 45, maybe number 47, I don't know, Donald Trump. Trump was in Georgia, and he talked about his plan to have mass deportations day one.
Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
So while he's in Georgia saying, yeah, we're going to kick these people the hell out, the living corpse of Jimmy Carter is being celebrated because he voted early for Kamala Harris. And listen, I'm trying not to be a rotten SOB, but it's really uncomfortable when I see those pictures of Jimmy Carter because, bless his heart, he's done more out of office than he ever did in office. But you don't need to be putting out
putting him out in the public anymore. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was really tough to look at the pictures of him. I have a serious question about that. So his family is on record as saying Jimmy Carter's been relatively unresponsive for the last year. He hasn't been able to communicate for the last 6 months. Kamala Harris became the candidate 3 months ago. How the heck is he voting for Kamala Harris?
Well, if he passes away, he's probably going to vote 3 or 4 more times for Kamala Harris. I got bad news for you there, Jeff.
That is true.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Listen, hats off to Jimmy Carter. That dude has been in hospice for like a year, and he's fighting it like a badass. I mean, hell, Jimmy Carter might beat Joe Biden in a debate right now. But, yeah, those pictures, man, they're pretty rough. They don't need to be wheeling him out there. And if that were me, I wouldn't want my wife or my kids putting me out there where I look like I'm in a coffin. No, just let me be at home. Mail-in votes are a thing. It doesn't need to be a spectacle, right?
It's almost like when they forced Joe Biden to debate Donald Trump, even though he has severe dementia and had no clue where he was. It's almost that cruel. Almost.
Going back to Donald Trump, he was also in Chicago for this economic forum, and it was moderated by the Bloomberg editor-in-chief, this cat by the name of John Mickelwaith. So take a listen here as Mickelwaith kind of loses the crowd. They start laughing at him as Trump kind of roasts him.
And yes, you're going to find some people who will gain from individual tariffs. The overall effect could be massive.
I agree it's going to have a massive effect, positive effect. It's going to be a positive, not a negative.
Well, let
me just I know how committed you are to this, and it must be hard for you to spend 25 years talking about tariffs as being negative and then have somebody explain to you that you're totally wrong. It'll have a negative. It will have. I'll go a step further.
40
if
million,
you don't
40
do
million,
this,
President
this
Trump,
country
40 million jobs is a lot of jobs to rely on.
They're all coming back.
Those are 40 million jobs. Those are 40 million jobs in America that rely on trade.
Are you ready? John Deere, great company. They announced about a year ago they're going to build big plants outside of the United States, right? They're going to build them in Mexico.
And you threatened them
they're
with
also
tariffs
going to build,
and they stopped.
That's right. I said, if John Deere builds those plants, they're not selling anything into the United States. They just announced yesterday they're probably not going to build the plants, okay? I kept the jobs here.
We were talking earlier, Jeff. Could you imagine Kamala Harris doing one of these types of events where she's expected to sit down, go toe-to-toe with the editor-in-chief of Bloomberg and talk about tariffs and taxes and really get into the weeds on these types of things?
I don't think she would stand a chance, and I think we've seen enough to where we don't need. But I want to touch on something really quick. This is very important for everyone to understand. Just because you have a British accent doesn't mean you're smart, okay? And I think a lot of people in our country, they've overrun Hollywood. The Brits came into Hollywood, and the British accent does not denote intelligence. This guy, when Trump finally decided he's going all in and boom goes the dynamite, when he went after him, it reminded me of like the 2016 debates with fellow Republicans. He just tore the guy apart. And I thought the same thing. While I was watching it, I was imagining Kamala Harris trying to sit there and answer those questions. And she wouldn't have any clue how to discuss a tariff.
What do you mean? She's from a middle-class family, Jeff. She'll say that 18 times.
Yeah, I felt really invigorated watching that and seeing Trump. And can we just talk about the fact that Trump is in a different city every day now, going live for 4 hours, and Kamala Harris is doing 30 minutes maybe live with Fox News tonight? My goodness.
So if you are looking for a reason to drink tonight, raise one up to a dude that I used to run around Broad Ripple with back in the day, one of the greats, Dan Weldon. IndyCar driver, two-time Indy 500 champion. So I was introduced to Dan from a guy I used to work with, Dave Smiley, still over there at WZPL. Dave's a good dude. Love the Smiley Show. They're good people. They've always been nice to me. And so wedding, pre-married Dan Weldon, he was a one-man wolf pack. That dude would get after it in Broad Ripple. I mean, British accent like you talked about, just a good-looking kid, Indy 500 champion, had all this money. And I was like the nerdy wingman to Dan, right? So we'd have a lot of fun, man. And it was on this date back in 2011, we lost Dan in that accident in Las Vegas where he was racing at the Speedway. And if you remember, it was just earlier that year in May, he kind of resurrected his racing career by winning his second Indy 500 in one of the most dramatic ways possible.
Here he comes, the National Guard machine with J.R. Hildebrand down along the white line. He is sputtering slow, and he hits the wall. He hits the wall coming out of 4. Will he have enough to cross the yard of bricks?
Here comes J.R. Hildebrand. He will cross in front of the flag stand with the checkered flag waving, the right side of the car destroyed. Who will win? Who is the winner of the Indianapolis? It is Weldon. Dan Weldon has won the race.
Dan was my buddy, man. He was a good dude, and I hate that he was taken way too soon. Settled down, had a great relationship with his wife and his kids, who are going to be Indy 500 champions one day. His 2 kids. If anybody's watched that documentary on HBO about his family, Oliver and Sebastian, man, they're going to be forces to be reckoned with.
Let me ask you a question. Celebrating Dan's life, you two went out in Broad Ripple. You tore it up. Where do Hammer and Dan Weldon, where do you guys go?
He goes in places that I'm not allowed to get into, but I'd meet him out there, and there'd be places like Rock Lobster, all the, like the VIP sections of these places where it's roped off. Dan would be the guy with the white sunglasses on in the dark room, wearing sunglasses at night, total, power move, and just talent, shall we say, coming all around to hang out with him and get his picture and all that.
And so you're striking up conversations with either the people who've been rejected or who haven't had their shot yet, correct?
I just wanted free drinks.
Right.
I'm not trying to bang the skanks here because I was married at this point. I just wanted to be like, hey, this dude's pretty cool. He's fun to hang out with, and he gets me into clubs for free, and I can drink for free. Because I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I'm a borderline alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
So getting free drinks went a long way in my book.
Wow. Yeah, he everything I've heard about him, I know a lot of people over at IMS, and just seemed like one of the coolest dudes, but also a really decent guy. So, yeah, sad anniversary.
Miss Allison, give me some mood music, please. If you've been driving around downtown, maybe you've noticed at the JW Marriott, they've taken down the Indianapolis Colts big mural, and they're putting the Taylor Swift one up. A couple weeks away from the final shows of Taylor Swift's Era tours, one of the most successful tours of all time when you look at revenue and media buzz and all that kind of stuff, but they're putting Taylor's big likeness up on the JW Marriott.
Yeah, it's a little weird. They took the Colts down, but they put Taylor up. So I would have rather them do it the week of the concert, but And in celebration of this moment, though, I put together a little something. Allison, I understand you're a big Taylor Swift fan.
I am, yes, and I'm already nervous.
No, there's nothing to be nervous about. I would like to test your knowledge of Taylor Swift. I came up with a game where I'm going to say a clue, and then you're going to guess which Taylor Swift song it is, okay?
Oh, okay.
Do you feel comfortable with this?
I think so.
All right, I have 6 quick ones. Hammer, do you think she's going to get over or under 4.5 right?
Over. I'm pretty confident in Allison's ability to name Taylor Swift songs. I'm taking the over.
Okay, then let's start. Number 1, age of Bill Belichick's girlfriend last year.
22.
Bing.
Nice.
Okay.
1 for 1.
Okay, very good. All right, clue number 2. The way P. Diddy is greeted every morning by his cellmate.
Oh, this could be a lot of them.
3 seconds.
Guilty as sin?
No, I'm sorry. It was You Belong With Me.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. So we're 1 for 2.
Okay.
You're doing great.
That was a good guess, though.
That was a good guess. Ready for number 3?
Yeah.
Kamala Harris when the teleprompter goes out. 3 seconds, please.
I I don't know.
Blank space.
Oh, well, there you go.
Blank space. Right now, you have to get the last three.
Got to run the table. Here we go.
I'm sorry, yeah.
What Paul Pelosi said to his male escort boyfriend after getting attacked by a hammer.
Allegedly.
Love story.
No, I'm sorry. It was we are never, ever getting back together.
I will also accept love story, though. I think we should accept love story.
So are you giving her 2 for 2 right now?
We got 2 more.
Here we go. Average number of shows Nigel misses per month.
She doesn't have a song called 99.
Ooh. It's a number.
We've already said 22.
Lower. 15.
15?
Come on, that's one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs.
That's back when she was country Taylor, right?
Yes.
That's generous of you to say that about Nigel, too.
All right, last but not least, Doug Emhoff's advice to every woman he roughs up.
This is me trying.
Boom, boom, boom. Shake it off, Allison.
Oh, come on, Allison. I thought you were a Swiftie.
I tried.
Apparently, I need to study some more. I apologize to all the Swifties out there.
Those were great clues,
Those
too.
are great clues.
They led you directly to the answer.
Matt Bear.
All right, Hendricks County westbound as 70 south to State Road 267 for a couple of miles. That's because of a crash near County Road 525. And we are looking at a crash in the median. 2 cars involved again. Stopped past 267 for an ugly delay. Maybe use US 40 instead. Now, on the south side, eastbound 465, we have a crash at I-69 blocking the right lane and then a stall at Harding Street. That is blocking the right lane. Traffic is slow back to I-70. Southbound 65 jam before 21st Street. Remember, southbound 65 closed at west for the next 16 days. Details of WIBC traffic. Traffic sponsored by Wendy's. Any size soft drinks for $1. Wendy's has $1 soft drinks, any size, anytime. Coke, Sprite, strawberry, Fanta, whatever you want. Any size soft drink for $1. Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only and participating Wendy's. Terms apply. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I exclusively use American Standard equipment to heat my home in the winter and to cool my home in the summer. Here is Hammer to tell you about one of those amazing independent Central Indiana American Standard dealers.
How about Family Heating and Air, the Morris family and their staff ready to help you out this fall and into the winter. You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure that furnace is safe and ready to go for when that cold weather starts to move in. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion if you've already got a quote from somebody else. If something seems a little off about your quote, call Family because nobody takes care of you like family. 317-577-8077. Family Heating and Air, 577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury. Even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Keep the tradition alive, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
You okay? Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Advent is now open in Indianapolis and Avon. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Group can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel present.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll. Jeff Boggs is in for Big Nige. Jeff, is this anything? A 20-year-old guy from South Africa barely survived a vicious shark attack this year while snorkeling in French Polynesia.
Damn alligator bit my hand off.
Oh, my God. Alligator, sharks, you go into their house, you are going to get bit. And he decided to own the experience by making himself a little bit of a trophy. So doctors pulled one of the shark's teeth out of his left arm, and he's turned it into an earring that he wears. Here he is.
My story starts when I was badly bitten by a shark in French Polynesia while doing some free diving on a remote island in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, the amazing clinic on the island organized a French military plane to come and pick me up and take me all the way to Tahiti. It was quite amazing that when we did x-rays on my arm looking for broken bones, we discovered several shark teeth that had been broken off inside and had been left behind. 2 pieces of teeth and a whole tooth was removed from my arm, but it's really cool to still have a small piece of tooth left. So if you think I should make a little earring out of this tooth, let me know. I think it'd be quite a fun video to make.
That anything?
Well, is the guy who was talking first the same guy who was talking second? Because he had a totally different accent. The last guy sounded like Chris Martin from Coldplay, but it's something, because for the rest of your life, you're the dude who got bit by a shark and survived.
By the way, the social media term for flipping like that is called pulling a Kamala.
Oh, okay.
Pulling a Kamala, when you can go accent to accent. Is this anything? And I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to run it your way anyway. 71-year-old broad named Mary out of L.A. is defying her age by pole dancing. She's not a stripper, but she does perform. It's a fitness and exercise thing, but here is 71-year-old Mary talking about why she loves to get up on the pole.
A friend of mine said, well, I'm taking pole dancing. I thought, well, that sounds fun. The bug had bit me, and I had to do this. I just had to do it. And I always say, if you're going to try it, don't just do one time, because you'll come away the first time and say, oh, I'm sore. I didn't know I had muscles there. You can't be a wet noodle and be on the pole. I think you have to have a really positive attitude, a can-do attitude, and then you can really go far. You'd be amazed at what you can do if you don't give up.
First of all, you, Jeff, and Allison got a lot of growing up to do. The minute she said you can't have a wet noodle and get up on the pole, everybody laughed in here like you're middle school kids. Grow up.
That's pulling a Kamala, isn't it? A little bit. I got to say really quick, I saw the name and I saw Los Angeles. I have a horrible feeling that Mary and I met on Plenty of Fish in 2003. So I'm going to refrain from commenting on this.
She sounds great for 71, though.
She sounds unbelievable. Good for her.
Last one. Is this anything? A woman is going viral on social media for her theory that a turkey's legs are ham. Listen to this woman and who her fourth-party source is when she says a turkey's legs are ham.
Turkey legs is ham. Turkey legs is ham. The world is a lie. Everything we ever knew was a lie, guys. I was watching a TikTok. This girl said they was at the fair. They got turkey legs. The turkey legs tasted like ham. So they went back to the dude and was like, hey, why does this turkey leg taste like ham? He was like, it is ham. We just call them turkey legs. What do you want us to say? Pig leg? Mind blown.
Her fourth-party source is a, quote, dude at the fair, but she says turkey legs are ham. Is that anything?
I think it's something, and good for her. She'll have a podcast in a couple months that has millions of followers, so good for her.
That's the way America works, right?
That's it.
If the Hawk Tuah chick can be a millionaire, why can't Ham Lady?
I was going to bring her up, but I decided not to because I hate how popular she's getting. Thank you for doing it for me.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
At Shane Company, we make finding your perfect engagement ring fun and easy. Because let's be honest, you might feel a little stressed out. We get it. That's why we do all the hard stuff. It's our job to bring you the biggest selection of beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones, so many amazing settings, and all the customization your heart desires. We've got your style and your price range covered, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Come in for a warm welcome and leave with your dream ring and an experience you'll never forget. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A multi-front war. It's partly sunny and 55. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Israel is facing violence on multiple fronts and an order from the United States.
For the first time in nearly a week, Beirut was hit. The IDF said it was going after Hezbollah. The U.S. had asked Israel to lay off the city. 90 Hezbollah rockets and projectiles were fired back. Down in Gaza, an apparent response to U.S. calls to increase humanitarian aid. Secretary of State Blinken and Defense Secretary Austin demanding improvements by Israel or risk a military shutoff. 5 new trucks of aid have entered Gaza. The State Department says it has seen Israel take additional steps, but wants more. In Haifa, Israel, Greg Malcott, Fox News.
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita says he will bring legal action against any entity that is not following Indiana's ban on sanctuary cities.
Hardworking Hoosiers are sick and tired of paying the price for this left-wing nonsense, and our office will not back down from enforcing this new state law.
A sanctuary city is a local unit of government that has implemented a policy that deliberately and intentionally restricts and obstructs the enforcement of federal immigration laws. The Federal Trade Commission is making it easier for you to cancel digital subscriptions. A new rule would require platforms to make it as easy to cancel as it was for you to sign up in the first place to avoid jumping through hoops to cancel a service you no longer want. You're paying an average of $3.18 a gallon for gas today, says AAA. That's up 3 cents from last week. If you want the cheapest gas, you'll have to go to Evansville or Greensburg. They have it for $2.61 a gallon.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
A memorial for Ethel Kennedy held in Washington, D.C. today. The widow of former U.S. Attorney General and Senator Robert F. Kennedy passed away last week. Former President Bill Clinton speaking to Kennedy's children.
I was trying to think of whether I could say anything that would add to what others have said. And I doubt that I can, but I will tell you this. I thought your mother was the cat's meow.
Ethel Kennedy was 96. The closing bell report on 93 WIBC. The Dow Jones in the positive, up 337 points to 43,077, a new record for the Dow. The NASDAQ up 55 points to 18,367. And the S&P 500, not to be left behind, also in the positive, up 27 points to 5,842. WIBC News Time 4:33, traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Mike loves the fall in Indy, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
The thing about Rhino Shield, heat gain has been reduced. We save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With a look at traffic, here's Matt Baer.
Downtown, southbound 65, stopped from 21st Street to West Street as traffic peels off at that West Street exit. Southbound 65 is closed at West for the next 16 days or until around October 31st. Details at WIBC Traffic. Eastbound 70, stop and go. Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois, 14-minute delay. South side crash, eastbound 465 and I-69 blocking the right lane, slowing us back to Sam Jones Expressway. Crash in Hendricks County. This is westbound 70, a couple of miles after State Road 267 has a stop almost to Ronald Reagan Parkway. You may want to try US 40 instead. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. There is still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. No subcontractors ever big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We have a freeze warning going into effect this Wednesday evening with clear skies and light winds kind of being the culprit as to why we see temperatures drop to around the 34-degree mark here in Indianapolis, likely cooler outside of some of those larger urban areas. So a little frosty morning out there for Thursday with the afternoon sunny, high temperature, a little warmer than it was on Wednesday in the mid-60s, and likely rain-free conditions for still a few days in our future. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for our good friend Mark Deedle, Mark Deedle Realty. Listen, you got a lot of options in the real estate game. Seems like every time you go on social media, somebody's got their license. They want to sell your house. The real reality is this: you deserve the best. Get the most out of your home by getting the best, and that's Mark Deedle. And what makes Mark Deedle the best is the guarantee. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is what separates Mark Deedle from the competition. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. So call the agent that we trust and recommend here on the Hammer and Nigel Show, Mark Deedle, 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah! Man, it's almost here. Election day is almost here. And one of the guys that chose to fight the most daunting battle in Indiana has joined us in studio. John Schmitz, Republican candidate for U.S. House seat District 7. That is the seat currently occupied by one Andre Carson. And John Schmitz happens, baby. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hammer, thanks for having me on. And it's good to be on with Jeff. I mean, I'm starting to wonder where Nigel is, because I've been on your show, 2 or 3 times now, and Nigel always ducks out. So what's up with that?
I don't think we're supposed to talk about it, right? The anal leakage?
Yes, he's courageously battling a situation with the back door. So just please respect his privacy at this time.
Is he suffering from an oily stool?
Loose one at that. All right, let's get down to brass tacks here. Why did you decide to take on Andre Carson? Because it seems like this is a guy that, for whatever reason, always gets big votes in his district, despite kind of being a bit of a train wreck.
Well, I think that the Republican Party, for one, has basically drawn this district into, we give up, the white flag. And I live in the district, and I believe you do too, and I think Casey does. There's some folks here that live in the district, and I think that we need to have a good candidate to run against Carson. And I think that we're going to be the best challenge he's had in a while. And somebody's got to step up and do this. And I'm tired of representation that doesn't show up and you can't get a hold of. And, that's one thing I do. You can get a hold of me. You can call me on the phone and I'll actually answer it. it's impossible.
You'll
to get rid of that
debate
guy.
if given the opportunity to, which I know that's something you've wanted to do against Andre Carson.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. So we started giving him notice in July about a debate, handed him a letter, debate. He says, I'll do a virtual debate. I don't know why he wouldn't do one in person. I mean, I'm not a mean guy or anything. And he said, oh, we'll do that. And then he decided he was going to do a Facebook Live town hall a couple Thursdays ago. And guess what? He couldn't even get on air. He couldn't get on air with his Facebook Live. So he jumps over to Instagram and he talks about, I get on Instagram and I ask him about the debate. And he says, Mr. Schmitz, we have sent you over all these options and you've declined. So thanks for your question. And then they abruptly end the thing. And
you've declined, huh?
Yeah. We've got no offer. He's been running. He's been hiding. He's not wanted to participate. And Andre, you still have time to.
Sure.
We could get Hammer to do.
I'll moderate it. I'll be fair. Like, you know this, John. I hate everybody.
Yeah, you do.
So you're basically saying that, and I just want to be clear, a Democrat candidate is refusing to debate you and is also just trying to run out the clock before. I've never heard of this happening before.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, it's like we have both sides do this, but the other side of that is I've been trying to get a hold of Andre Carson to talk about our floodplain in Mars Hill for over a year and a half. I've gotten the runaround. I've filled out the forms, and somebody argued, well, he's not refusing to call you back. Well, when somebody doesn't call you back or set up a meeting or want to, that's sort of refusing, isn't it?
Right.
So they want to argue the tits and the tats on that, and it's like, okay, how hard is it to meet with at least a community leader? I mean, the very least that I am is a community leader in Mars Hill for my neighbors that are stuck in this floodplain. I have a plan to get it out, and you won't even get time for it. And that's how you end up running against a guy. So if he's not going to help me with the floodplain, I'm going to take his job and we're going to fix it.
So what would you do differently than Andre Carson? And let's be honest, how do you beat him? Because you're going to have to get more than just some Republican votes to knock off Andre Carson. How do you pull the upset?
Oh, well, I've been going where Republicans don't go. I've been going into neighborhoods and to meetings. I'll give you a quick story. I went to, I'm not going to name this event, but it was more of a Democrat-leaning event, but it was supposed to be nonpartisan. I go to the event, and the first hour, they're going to have speakers there. They didn't really say we could speak. The first hour was Orange Man Bad, Project 2025, gerrymandering, all this. And then we had an hour where the people could meet us, and they came and meet everybody. And I'm the only Republican there. And then then it starts up again, and we have a lady gets up and starts going down the list of all this 2025, and it was all propaganda. So I gather up my stuff, and I start walking out, and under my breath on the way out, the organizers were standing in the hallway. I said, this ain't right. And they say, hey, hold on, Hudnut. That's what they call me, Hudnut, because I look like Bill Hudnut. We're about to make this right. We're going to level the playing field. I said, well, you're not letting any of us speak. It's just a one-sided propaganda thing. I'm out of here. They said, no. And they physically were holding me. And so they take me back in. I start talking, and I start talking about, the gerrymandering. It works both ways, and how that, the complacency and the people loved what I said. In fact, one of the senators there was, came up to me and talked about, wow, I really appreciated what you said there. But it was all the Democrat leaders that were in the area. And, so to me, that was like, and I've been to other events and places where it's propaganda. These people that are leading these events are propaganda to these people, and I don't think
we saw that at the national stage, right? At the DNC, where it was Project 2025, very fine people on both sides, all that kind of stuff. It's been debunked a million times, but they still run with it. John Schmitz is our guest, the Republican candidate for U.S. House District 7, running against Andre Carson. Let me ask you this. Based on the information you've been able to see as a candidate, the fact that Andre Carson has come off as an anti-Semite, does that in any way affect his reelection chances here? Because you got to remember, Andre Carson voted against condemning the October 7th attacks. Like, when you don't vote to condemn it, you're basically saying, I'm here for it. Does that play at all in this election?
It doesn't seem to make any difference. I don't think it makes any difference what he does. I think people are voting for a ghost. I say this is the forgotten race against an invisible man, and he just has to go hide and just hope he wins. I don't see him on the campaign trail. I don't see anything out there. And I don't really like to say I'm running against Andre Carson. I'm really running for the people. And I think the people are being duped by this guy over 16 years of what has he really done? My wife jokes around and says that he got grandmothered in,
Right.
and so what's he done lately? I mean, the Carson name is been here for this whole century, if you want to make it sound like it's longer. But it's time for us to move on. It's time for us to move on. We need to make District 7 one of the best congressional districts in the country, and that's what I can do. I can do it better, and I will do it better, but I got to get elected. I can't do it from my garage hammer. I got to be able to get out here.
Well, I'll tell you, John, first of all, kudos for going to places where people wouldn't usually go. I think, it's like Trump going to Madison Square Garden. We need people to go to those places. Second, you look like Sting. You really look like Sting.
Like if Hudnut and Sting had a kid.
And Steve Martin.
It's the old joke. If Mayor Hudnut and Sting had a kid. I have a suggestion for you. As Hammer said, we're a little down in the polls right now. We're running out of time. We need a Hail Mary. We need something that's going to shake up the race. Joe Biden said he would cure cancer, if you remember that. Is there a way that you can maybe promise curing something a little less than cancer, a little more doable? Like
Right.
Chronic halitosis.
Jaundice.
Have you gout?
Oh, now gout that's tough. That's a tough one. Gout is something you get that and you remember. It's like shingles. It's like, but I can do that. But I'll tell you what. How about inflation?
Inflation.
How about just some of the issues that we have in District 7? The murder rates that have just keep going up and up and up. And you don't even see politicians going out to talk to these families anymore.
Yeah.
So I would say, my thing is like it's not a magic. There's not some magic formula here. This is just go do the work, go out and see the people. And, there's 748,000 people in this district. And I kid, but I have ADHD. I would love to meet every single person.
And you need those people to get out and actually vote,
yes,
too. Because voter turnout in Indiana has been a disappointing number over the last couple of years.
And that's because of the gerrymandering, because people think that, go in, in Marion County, we had 10 city county councils positions with no Republican in them. Ugh. And then if you go statewide, there's a lot of places where there's no Democrat running against that. So people go into the ballot box and they see their party not having anyone in there. They don't want to vote. Why go? So that's part of my reason to bring it back to why I'm running, is because I want to give the District 7 people a real choice on somebody that can do the work, that's going to be out in the community, that has a proven record and receipts of helping the community on my own dime. I'm the guy that can get this done.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds here for the last word. Appeal to somebody listening right now that's always votes for Andre Carson or always just votes straight Democrat ticket. Why should they mix it up this year and vote for you instead?
Well, I think it's definitely, this is a person over politics. I am not backed by the Republican Party in Indiana. They're giving me no funding, no support, none of that stuff. I am a grassroots product of Marion County, of Indianapolis. I've been 63 years here, and I really want to help our citizens realize their potential, live their best life, and get the government the heck out of their way so that they can do that. And if you vote for me, I will go to work, and I think you will see that this is going to be an example for other politicians, that if they don't do the work and they're not out in the community, that we're going to vote them out. So I would say, help us out, help everybody out, and let's show some politicians, just send them a message that you have got to do the work.
I want you to make this promise to us. If you shock the world and win this thing, you come on the next Friday for Celebrity Beer Bong.
Oh, I'll challenge anyone to a beer bong.
You just got my vote. That's great.
Shotgun beer, whatever. Let's go.
John Schmitz, House District 7. John, best of luck, my man. Keep fighting the good fight. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks you a lot, guys.
All right. In the spirit of election season, let's do something we like to do from time to time. Caller number 9 right now. 239-9393. We're going to write a negative campaign attack ad about you. So if you have ever wanted to have a negative attack ad written about you and played on the #1 drive time show in the city of Indianapolis, you got to be a good sport, but caller number 9 right now, 239-9393. Jeff and I will ask you some questions, and bada bing, bada boom, on the spot, we'll come up with an attack ad about you. 239-9393, caller 9, good luck.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
To learn more, eligible members call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Need a new work truck? Need a new fleet vehicle? Andy Moore Ford has got you covered. Over 800 new vehicles available on the lot, including the Super Duty trucks available starting only at $43,995. You've got F-150s, transit vans, the custom work vehicles for any industry, all built Ford tough, and Rangers with that all-new body style from only $36,995. And of course, you want the cool, fun stuff. They've got the Broncos, the Bronco Sports. I'm driving a Bronco. I own a Bronco Sport. And interest rates as low as 0% APR available on new Andy Moore Fords. And when you need service, Andy Moore Ford will come to you. Just schedule it online at andymoreford.com. They'll come pick up the vehicle, service it, and bring it back to you as good as new. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Visit them on Main Street. Tell them Tony Cat sent you, or find them online at andymoreford.com. That's Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R.
I love Andy.
andymoreford.com.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet and Security Edge plus Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Unlimited Mobile. And ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-9369, 800-525-9369, 800-525-9369.
My brother never checks on Dad, or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Are you worried your furnace isn't ready? Fear not at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. Visit bplusw.com/radio where your comfort is their priority. B&W is your independent American Standard air dealer.
There is still time to get a patio this season. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, changing the way Indy thinks about concrete.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Bayer, what's up?
Westbound 70 in Hendricks County crash clear 2 miles after State Road 267. Still jammed from Ronald Reagan to 267. Southbound 65 closed to West Street. We're backed up to 29th with traffic trying to peel off to West. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts changing the way Indy thinks about concrete. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center here at 93 WIBC. Ben was caller number 9. Ben, how the heck are you?
Hey, what's up? This is cool.
So here's what's going to happen, Ben. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I'm going to get some information. And based off your answers, we will come up with a negative political attack ad against you, okay?
All right.
Ben, what do you do for a living?
I drive a volumetric concrete truck at the moment.
I heard truck. Okay. Ben, where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis.
Indy. Have you ever been arrested, Ben?
I have.
Can you tell us for what?
I got spit in my face and I reacted and punched him. It ultimately broke his jaw.
Okay. Ben, have you ever been naked in public?
I have.
Okay. Have you ever been to Mexico, Ben?
No.
I don't believe you. If you're listening to music, Ben, what are we listening to?
Everything.
Okay, I heard Clay Aiken. What is the record for the most amount of beers you've had in one sitting?
Oh, my God. Probably 30. I can't remember after the 30th one anyways.
Okay. I think we got enough here. So if we're good with it, shall we do the attack ad now?
Do you need to do the attack ad? I mean, yeah, go for it.
First of all, I don't want to attack this guy. I want to vote for this guy.
He sounds awesome.
Right? All right. Hit the music, Allison. You want Ben to be the president of the United States. Well, let's just look at the facts. While living in Indianapolis, Ben spends most of his day driving a truck. But what he doesn't want you to know is that he's also drinking 30 beers and breaking jaws. You can't have that type of temperament in the White House. And sure, Ben claims he's never been to Mexico. But would you believe Ben? He's been nude in public and listens to Clay Aiken. What else is he willing to lie about? Ben drives a truck 30 beers deep. You can't afford to have him fighting random people in the streets of Indianapolis. That's it.
That was harsh, man, but that's like literally harsh, but the best day of my life at the same time.
Again, I felt bad doing it, Ben, because I want to vote for you. I don't want to produce the negative attack ad. Ben, thanks for being a good sport, brother.
You too.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury. Even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Keep the tradition alive, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call L.D. Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
L.D. Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Herrick has a special report on autism and how you can help prevent bullying. That story and more next from the Technology Recycler Studios. I'm Donnie Burgess. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's now 5 o'clock, time for Fox News Radio at the top of the hour.
Country over party. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's the theme of a Pennsylvania event just held by Vice President Kamala Harris, surrounded by American flags and Republican supporters.
I want to fix problems, which means working across the aisle.
Pledging to be a realistic and practical president who fights for the American people and calling former President Trump increasingly unstable and unhinged.
Someone who I think we can guarantee will sit in the Oval Office plotting retribution, stew in his own grievances, and think only about himself and not you.
1 hour from now, Harris's first Fox News interview airs on Special Report with Bret Baier. Former President Trump taking questions from an all-women audience at a Fox town hall in Georgia.
Daycare for the lowest amount is roughly $1,400 a month for one child here.
Yeah. Trump telling that mom he would build on child tax credits implemented during his previous administration.
We're going up higher, but we're also going to readjust because you have to make some readjustments. It's unfair to some people, and we're not going to have that.
He also says lower prices on many things would follow by boosting energy production, and at one point appeared to say he would ban transgender athletes in girls' sports, something that's faced legal challenges in multiple states. An emotional President Biden paying tribute to Ethel Kennedy, widow of Robert F. Kennedy, saying she was there for so many people, including him, when his wife and daughter were killed in a car crash before he was sworn in as a U.S. Senator.
She got me through a time I didn't want to stick around. I want no part of being in the Congress and the Senate.
He says the Kennedy family changed life for his 2 surviving boys at the time, and that the Biden family is there for them. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You can step in. Partly sunny, 54 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Perhaps you've seen an autistic child get bullied. John Herrick reports on ways to help prevent that.
And now, a WIBC News Spotlight.
Since autism is a disorder that can affect a person's ability to understand and communicate with others, Dr. Breanne Hartley with Unify Autism Care in Indianapolis says it's best if Hoosiers show kindness.
We can also teach children empathy and compassion in order to prevent bullying. We should all be extremely compassionate to one another as humans in this world.
She also recommends pairing an autistic child up with someone else.
Having a buddy system of sorts within school systems, if there's going to be a fun carnival at school, that could be really overwhelming for a child with autism. But if they have a buddy to kind of walk around the carnival with them, that could be really beneficial as well.
And Hartley says schools need strong anti-bullying procedures.
Just because a school has a procedure and policies in place today doesn't mean that it's those same policies and procedures that should be in place a year from now, 5 years from now. Having an annual process to review what those procedures are is definitely recommended.
On Thursday, you'll hear about how routine routines impact autism. With your WIBC News Spotlight, I'm John Herrick.
If you want to solve issues of violence, Republican candidate for Governor Mike Braun says it's important to focus on where guns are going.
The key is to keep them out of the hands of criminals and the mentally ill. And if you do that job, everyone else can have their freedom, and it shouldn't be infringed because you're not doing the job that you got plenty of laws to do.
Braun talking to WIBC's Hammer and Nigel. Indiana's gas average is $3.18 a gallon today, and the Indiana Pacers have been voted the most fun team to watch in a survey of NBA general managers.
Now we've just got to work at enhancing as many other parts of our game as we can.
Head coach Rick Carlisle on 93.5 The Fans wake-up call. Indiana has Charlotte tomorrow night at 7. WIBC News Time, 5:04.
Mark Dietl is the only real estate expert I trust with the sale of my home. And it was the same for Dee and Andrew in Noblesville. Here's what they had to say. We were done with the rat race and ready to live the dream of buying a camper and traveling west. We needed top cash from our home to make our dream work. Thankfully, we hired Mark Dietl, who delivered big time. Our home sold for our asking price in 4 days on the market.
Mark Dietl is the only real estate agent that we trust and recommend here on the Hammer and Nigel show. And it's because of the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today, 317-755-4232, or go to marketdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Donnie, southbound 65 is closed downtown at West Street and the north end of downtown's a circus right now. We look at West Street going up to that ramp system with I-70 and West Street. That's backed up to Indiana Avenue taking on traffic in both directions. And 10th Street, East 10th Street, moving over in the eastbound direction right now is stopped before west on over to the Delaware Street entrance ramp as expected. Looking at a crash south side, westbound 465 after 31, that's on the right shoulder. And on the west side, southbound 465 jam Sam Jones to Kentucky Avenue. Traffic sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast, brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We have an active freeze warning in our forecast this Wednesday night with clear skies, low temperatures dropping into the mid to maybe even low 30s, winds light and variable in direction, and tomorrow looks to be sunny and a little bit warmer. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Sutis for 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel show up next. I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Having a good time with you guys this afternoon. This is the Hammer and Nigel show. If you are new to the program, understand this. We take a lot of time off. It happens, right? The real reality is our bosses told everybody here at WIBC, look, we need a lot of you guys to take some days off because we want you for the election push. Now, it's not election day anymore. It's like election week, election month almost. So that's why, Rob's had some time off. Casey, Nigel's out. He'll be back tomorrow. I've been out. I'm leaving again on Friday to go down to the Tennessee-Alabama college football game. But, thank you guys for being patient with us and for making us number one. God bless you. Our pal Jeff Boggs, former writer of some of your favorite television programs, is filling in for Big Nige today. Thank you so much for coming in and screwing around and having fun with us, man.
I love coming in, and thank you so much. And I should apologize really quick. I didn't mean to bring up the fact that Nigel was out getting anal leakage surgery. I was not supposed to share that information, so I apologize not only to Nigel, but to the listeners. My fault.
And I hope and pray someone in his inner circle is texting him right now. Dude, are you okay? Heard you had surgery for anal leakage.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite part of when he comes back. Like, he'll just look at me and go, anal leakage, huh? Like, that tells me, because I know he's not listening because, his wife runs the radio and she hates everything about this show. So he'll get a text message from somebody, about 3:15, 5:07, time stamped. Ain't a leakage, huh? All right, thanks. Again, coming up here, a little bit over an hour, the big interview Kamala Harris is doing with Brett Baer of Fox News. 30 minutes. They claim it's unedited, Jeff, but it's not live.
Well, then why not do it live? Does that make any sense at all? And I will watch this because not for the content. I don't believe a word she says, but I will watch it just to see if they edited, the piece. So who knows? Are you going to watch it?
Well, I'm going to have the coupon lady record it because I kind of forgot about it this morning. And we're going to be around here, so I'm not going to make it home in time. But I'll watch it when I get home. I'll see what happens because if Brett Baer is doing his job, this should be the only time we see Kamala Harris answering questions that weren't scripted or having things edited out of the interview.
Right, but will Brett Baer push back? He seems like a great journalist, but I'm just not sure he's the guy to push back. I have heard that she's considering going on Joe Rogan. Now that would be something. If I saw Kamala sit with Rogan for 2 hours, 3 hours, I think, and that would be a Hail Mary for her. That would show how poorly the internal polls are. If she sits with Rogan, then all bets are off.
So while she is doing that, Donald Trump out doing his thing in various cities and states. 1 minute he's in Chicago, next minute he's in Georgia. He did this town hall with women. All women in the crowd. It was moderated by Harris Faulkner of Fox News. And the topic of biological men competing in women's sports came up.
How do you plan on addressing the transgender issue in women's sports? I have 9 grandchildren, 6 of them female, all playing sports, and we are very concerned for their safety, not just on the field and the courts, but in their locker rooms as well.
Right. It's such an easy question, and everybody in the room, and you know that answer, we're not going to let it happen. We stop it. We stop it. We absolutely stop it. You can't have it. It's a man playing in the game. I mean, physically, from a muscular, even if it was a little bit less, maybe they do all sorts of tests and drugs and everything else. Look at what's happened in swimming. Look at the records that are being broken.
So how do you stop it? Do you go to the sports leagues? Do you go to the Olympic
You just
councils?
ban it. The president bans it. You just don't let it happen.
Whoa, hold on. Did I hear a room full of women applauding somebody saying that biological dudes should not play against women? Because Greg Doyle of the Indy Star has told me otherwise, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's a nice bookend to Greg Doyle's creepy at the beginning, and now 2 hours into the show, Greg Doyle is still creepy. I wonder if I would be very interested to see. Obviously, the transgender issue in sports is a huge topic, and people love talking about it. And to be frank, people have made a lot of money talking about it on social media and putting out content that people buy. I really am interested to see election results on where that ranks, in the issues, because I always get a little worried. Of course, I'm against men playing in women's sports. You have to be a moron not to be. But when I think about the economy and when I think about immigration, I'm just like, I want to make sure that everyone is, paying attention to every issue, because that's the stuff that's going to change America the most.
But it's also the checklist, right? Like, from the people who brought you dudes playing against women, now come record inflation or high crime rates, which, by the way, we have an update on. The FBI has released updated statistics that show, and this is my shocked face, there was an increase in crime, not a decrease like Biden and Harris and their butt-sniffing friends in the media tried to tell you. The new information reveals that violent crime increased in 2022 by 4.5%. It did not decrease. Now, if you remember in the debate between Trump and Kamala, David Muir, the mannequin that is David Muir of ABC News, tried to be Mr. Tough Guy and fact-check Donald Trump on it.
Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris,
FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities.
And that's the key. We've had on multiple criminal justice experts and professors at universities, law enforcement that say the way you doctor these numbers is simple. You don't have a lot of big cities reporting because they're not required to report. So if you leave out Los Angeles or Atlanta or Seattle or Chicago or whatever big city you can think of, sure, the numbers are going to look better. But even with them pulling that crap, the FBI's new numbers say crime is up.
It's as ridiculous as the global warming thing. If you don't like the numbers, move the thermometers where you're taking the readings. I find it very interesting that the jobs report that came out on the 4th, I believe, this month's jobs report, which is the last one kind of before the election that matters, it came out. It was a stellar jobs report. You would think people would be, talking about it. Nobody believes it anymore because 16 of the last 18 have been revised down, and no one believes the jobs numbers. No one believes these crime numbers. If you have eyes, you can tell what's going on. Remember back in the days when if you got caught shoplifting, you get arrested. Well, now if you don't shoplift over $1,000, you don't get arrested. So are we just redefining what the word crime means? Because to people, it still matters.
And that's the oldest trick in the book, and we see it here in Indy. When Boss Hogsett goes out there, well, crime is down. Down from what? The record level, which you were at the helm for? You don't get to do a victory lap when you were in charge for the record and it goes down by just a little bit. Because I'm old enough to remember not that long ago when Mayor Ballard had crime somewhat under control in Indy. Around 100 a year. Now 200 is the norm, and don't give me this garbage that it's just because of the population.
Right, I always think about the Titanic. Okay, so the Titanic goes down, and 1,300 people die. Whoever took over for the company that ran the Titanic the next week, they're like, our safety numbers are through the roof. It's like, well, of course,
right.
Of course they are. It's like COVID. When you talk about creating jobs, we'll never have a clear narrative on that because of COVID. This whole stretch is never going to make sense to people. So that's why they get away with lying about the crime numbers.
Producer Allison, we've got some weird science to talk about. Weird science. Dateline China. Researchers in China have created a moving robotic finger that could be used for prostate exams. They think the same technology could also be used for breast exams one day. So, Jeff Boggs, my question to you, would you let a robotic finger give you a prostate exam?
Never again.
I mean, there's that one time, but money was tight and $20 is $20.
Exactly. We all went through our phase of robotic prostate exams. How does this make sense? Isn't it dangerous to have a machine probing your innards?
You would think, but just thank your lucky stars that it's not COVID time. Remember what they were doing in the Chinese airports? They were screening for COVID anally. They were doing anal swabs for COVID at the Chinese airports, and that's when we came out with this classic song from Hammer and Nigel Records.
China has a new coronavirus anal swab test. Some Chinese experts claim it's way more effective.
You can tell the doc to give me all them shots. You can tell the nurse to check my head. Yeah. And you can take a swab and jam it up my schnoz and twist it all around until I'm dead. All right. And tell your doctor that I'll wear 13 masks and you can draw some blood out of my back. Okay. I'll sneeze into a tube, but forget about the lube. You ain't coming anywhere near my crack. Here we go. Don't touch my butt. Come on. My tighty whitey butt. I just don't think you'd understand. Come on. That if you touch my butt, my tighty whitey butt, I might pop off and punch this man. Woo! River.
Thank you, Doc. Ever serve time?
There it is. New single from Hammer and Nigel Records.
Oh, wow.
Matt Bear.
All right, looking at southbound 65 closed to West Street. People trying to peel off the west. Have a backup to get through back to 29th Street. The north end of downtown is an absolute zoo right now. People using 10th Street to get over to that Delaware Street 70 entrance. And 10th Street is backed up all the way past west at the moment. Also, if you're going to the south end of downtown, southbound west stop from McCarty on down. Also looking at eastbound 70, that's stop-and-go traffic. Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois on the west side. Southbound 465 stop-and-go from Sam Jones Expressway to Kentucky. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special. That's why they double all of the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now it is 55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center here at 93 WIBC. We need you to hit like on the YouTube page. Go to YouTube, the WIBC channel. They are streaming the Hammer and Nigel show. You can see the beautiful face of Jeff Boggs. You can see myself, but we need you to hit like because if we don't get to 100, then Nick from the digital department will come in here and put nothing but a nude screensaver of Joy Behar all over the feed, and nobody wants that. So we have to get over 100. Help us out and click like. We're going to play a fun round of Are You Okay With This next.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet and Security Edge plus Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Unlimited Mobile. And ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at Window Nation. From the windows to the walls to the amazing way my house looks with my Window Nation windows. Here's what I love about Window Nation. When they come to your house, and I know this because I've seen it firsthand, they measure everything like 3 or 4 times because they want to get it right. And then they put in the windows and they get out. They're in, they're out, and you've got the best windows in the world. Your heating and air bills will go down because your windows are energy efficient. Again, I've seen it firsthand. And right now, they've got a great deal going on. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. No additional costs. You don't pay anything for 2 years after that. 866-90-NATION. That's the phone number. At least talk to somebody. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space?
Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawlspace and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawlspace right the first time. And with our new no-interest, no-payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawlspace water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah! Oh, man, nobody has more fun in the afternoons than we do. Come back here every day and hang out with your pals. Allison, why don't you do the honors of hosting this round's Are You Okay With This?
All right, gentlemen, I will read you a story, and you will say if you are okay with this or not. And Jeff, you'll appreciate this. Our first story comes from the City of Angels. A UCLA professor of astrophysics claims his low salary has rendered him essentially homeless because he couldn't afford to live in LA. He's being paid around $70K a year. Here's the professor talking about his current situation.
A little while ago, I had to move all of my stuff into one of these storage units. I'm only being paid $70,000 for this academic year. The rent in Los Angeles is incredibly expensive. It's $2,500 for a one-bedroom apartment, so I'm no longer able to afford that. Now, I'm not officially homeless. I'm staying someplace. It's in San Diego, so it's nowhere close to Los Angeles. And I had to move my classes online. I asked them to please let me renegotiate my contract to $100,000 a year so that I can make the minimum to afford my apartment so that I don't come up short. And they refused.
Jeff, are you okay with this?
Wow, I'll tell you what, if that guy works at UCLA and he said he found rent for $2,500, no way does he live around UCLA because rent around there is $4,000. So honestly, I'm like, if you don't like it, do what I did. Get out, move somewhere else.
I don't buy it because, listen, have you seen the UCLA football team? They stink. They're awful. They are trash. And I promise you, the players on that team, thanks to NIL and TV money from the Big Ten Network, are making at least six figures. So if you're telling me those bums are making six figures, but the astrophysics guy is only making $70,000, I don't know. Something's not adding up here. I don't know if we're being told the whole story.
You can't bet on astrophysics.
But who's providing more of a service, this guy or those bums getting their brains beat out every Saturday?
Are you asking me that for real?
Yes.
Them, the UCLA football team.
Well, you bet against them. Okay.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, next story. 13 middle schoolers, they're cheerleaders in Texas. They are suffering from first and second degree burns on their hands after their coach made them perform bear crawls and crab walks on a hot outdoor track as punishment. Here are the girls talking about it.
This was malicious. This was intentional.
She told me that they got a punishment. And it shows me her hands.
We were being disrespectful to her, is what she said to us. And we told her our hands were burning, and she said she didn't care, and she made us go back down on the track. My daughter was seen by the burn unit. It's ridiculous.
It's not okay. My kid has blisters on her hand from burn marks.
That is exactly what I want, criminal charges.
Hammer, are you okay with child abuse?
Nope. And here's the thing. This happens with women a lot. I've coached baseball basically my whole life. I coached travel ball. I have seen some things. I've seen rowdy parents get into fights. I've seen morons yell racial things out and everything and in between. But more often than not, it's women that are the ones responsible for this kind of nonsense. It's either the mom of a player or, in this case, the ridiculous cheerleading coach. These women, man, they get so competitive they can't help themselves. So, yeah, I believe this happened. It sucks that this happened. I'm not okay with it. But you always think it's just guys that are, ridiculously tough coaches like Bob Knight or Bill Belichick. No. It's women, too. These dance coaches, these cheer coaches, they're up there with anybody.
Okay, but you and I are roughly, around the same age. We both played sports in high school and grade school. We had it way worse than this. Like, we would do 2-hour football practices with no water. That was standard. These girls, I was about to be upset until I heard them start talking, and then I kind of sided with the coach.
All right, coming up here in just a moment, Tony Kennett of the Tony Kennett Cast. He's also an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal. We're going to pick his brains about Tim Walz. Now, Tony Kennett is in Washington, D.C. right now. He's in the heart of the swamp, so curious what the mood is, what the vibe is. We'll talk to him coming up right after Donnie Burgess does the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
This is how you can make a difference. You've got 55 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 5:30. Perhaps you've seen an autistic child get bullied in Indiana. John Herrick reports on ways you can help prevent that.
Since autism is a disorder that can affect a person's ability to understand and communicate with others, Dr. Breanne Hartley with Unify Autism Care in Indianapolis says it's best if Hoosiers show kindness.
We can also teach children empathy and compassion in order to prevent bullying. We should all be extremely compassionate to one another as humans in this world.
And Hartley recommends that schools have strong anti-bullying procedures that are updated when necessary. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump will make high-profile TV appearances tonight. Harris will sit down for an interview with Bret Baier that will air on Fox News at 6 p.m. Trump took part in a town hall in Miami that will air on Univision at 10 o'clock. If you think Indiana is all about politics, well, you may want to think again.
When you look across the Hoosier state at things like voter turnout, enthusiasm for the process, and efforts to make voting more accessible, Wallet Hub says Indiana falls short compared to other states.
The least engaged states are Indiana, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Alabama, and Arkansas.
Chip Lupo with Wallet Hub says the top 3 states for political engagement are Maryland, Virginia, and New Jersey. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're paying an average of $3.18 a gallon for gas today, says AAA. That's up 3 cents from last week. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark was named to the 2024 All-WNBA First Team Wednesday. In a video put out by the Fever, Clark said she's honored.
I mean, it's not even something you're really ever aware of, breaking records or, it's just something that comes with playing the game the right way.
Clark and Tamika Catchings are the only Fever players in franchise history who have earned all WNBA first team honors. With traffic, here's Matt Baer.
Donnie southbound 65 closed to West Street for the next 16 days, then stopped back to 29th. And when you get into the north end of downtown, or trying to leave it in this case, northbound West Street is jammed up. Also East 10th over to the Delaware Street entrance ramp that a lot of people are using because of that closure. 10th Street is now stopped from Delaware all the way back to West. And on the south end of downtown, the other I-70 entrance, at least one of the others, we look at southbound West, that's jammed up from the interchange all the way back to Maryland. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. There is still time to get a patio this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. The patio experts, no subcontractors ever. Big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Wednesday night, we're looking at clear skies and light winds, so temperatures are going to be dropping pretty significantly. Don't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow morning around the 34-degree mark with some frost around the region. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Woo! Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here.
My name is Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers on Twitter. He's filling in for Big Nige and joining us now on the hotline, the host of the Tony Kennett Cast, Monday through Friday, right here at WIBC, 7 o'clock, right after our show. Tony Kennett. Tonus, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm great. I'm here in Washington, D.C., outside of Union Station. So I want you to picture a once beautiful place and then fill it with very smelly homelessness. So, you know, like downtown Indianapolis, but bigger and more disappointing.
Yeah, like D.C. is like plight on steroids, right? I know we have issues downtown, and we walk outside and we see bums taking baths in the fountain. We see people treating their bodies like an amusement park. We see people going number 2 in the alley, but it feels like DC, it's 10 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you go and see an Indianapolis Indians game, okay. Then you go to a major league game and you're like, whoa, this is something different entirely.
Right, 100%. Why are you in D.C., by the way?
I am in D.C. to finish. There's a summit that I'm here for that I can't go too into detail on, but we are preparing a last few details for our election night coverage. It is going to be insane. We're going to be eating steaks. We're going to be having a couple of drinks among friends. We're going to be bringing in all of the big guns. It's going to be a hoot.
I really think you missed a golden opportunity to just have a power move and say it's classified. Like, that would be such a power move on your behalf for like peons like I that are not allowed to know what you're doing in D.C.
Well, the last time I did something classified, the Democrats literally made it their main 2 words that they've said over and over and over and over again in this election. So I think I'm a little 0 for 2 on that.
All right, so let's get into it now. You're in the swamp. What's the feel there? I know it's a very Democrat-heavy town, but, man, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of momentum for Kamala Harris or Old Balls Tim Walz or any of these people.
Panic. The word is panic. Nervousness on a good day, but it's just panic. There has never in modern polling history been a Republican that's performed this well in polls, much less a seriously contested election. The closest you can say is Bush in 2004, maybe. And even then, what you're seeing on the ground right now, I mean, if you bring up Kamala Harris or Tim Walz's name, the look on the face is just instant indigestion. They're so bad at this. And this would, like, really, you got to think about it. For Democrats, this isn't exactly like their worst-case scenario of an election. They chose her because of their DEI standards. And then she chose the guy who loads a shotgun in reverse by bracing it against his crotch, who talks about what a knucklehead he is. I mean, come on. I mean, no wonder they're panicked.
Seems like only yesterday they were trying to push Tim Walz on us as America's coach. He's America's football coach.
Dude, if I had a coach like that, I'd sit the bench on purpose.
And now this guy is, I didn't think it was possible. He may be dumber than Kamala Harris.
Well, this is the thing I've heard it said. Biden was old, Kamala's stupid, and he's both.
Right.
So
100%.
And he's so flamboyant. I love that they're trying to make him and Doug Emhoff, the wife beater, as like their fantastic pictures of masculinity. Tim Walz gets out there and prances around like a drunk theater major, flapping his hands around and doing jazz hands. I'm pretty sure I've seen him cross his legs in the back of a pickup truck. It's disturbing.
Right. And I'm glad you bring up Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman.
Someone might as well.
Kamala's husband. Again, Jen Psaki was the one that sat down with him on MSNBC and tried to push this whole, you're the new face of masculinity on the public. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, because I do drink a lot, and I may have lost a few brain cells between now and the last time we spoke, but didn't he knock up the nanny?
Oh, not only did he knock up the nanny and forced her to get an abortion, but then he slapped around his other ex-girlfriend as well. I mean, this guy is like a really bad 1950s stereotype if you were trying to get someone from Turkey to explain what an American businessman looks like. Really, it's embarrassing, but it's quite a scandal because you and I know that if this were the spouse of a Republican, it would be all over the news. I mean, goodness gracious, remember Brett Kavanaugh and the Supreme Court? Remember the rumors they were digging through his yearbook? The current husband of the presidential nominee, like Kamala could be in. What happens if Kamala loses? Is he going to smack her around? And I'm not even saying that in jest. You don't know.
Right.
Seriously, this is a man who has very good allegations of domestic abuse. I mean, my God.
If you substitute the name Doug Emhoff for Matt Gaetz, how do you think the media would respond?
I mean, I'm pretty sure every billboard from your house to my house would be coated in angry accusations and the demanding of his head on a platter. It would be ridiculous. Yet here we are. Again, under a month. We're under 3 weeks of this election, and the media is trying to whistle past this graveyard. Unfortunately for them, it's not working. They played that card in 2020. They got their money's worth out of it, hiding the Hunter Biden story. Now, American institutional trust in media, according to recent surveys, is at an all-time low. No one's buying this crap.
Well, and I see why. Like, I feel like people always come at us because we work in media. Well, you work in media. Like, you dabble in national media, Tony, at the Daily Signal and your thing, and I do some stuff with Outkick, but at the end of the day, we're local radio hosts here. The crap that you see Martha Raddatz trying to pull on J.D. Vance, the crap you saw on the debates with those moderators, that stuff right there is why people have lost their faith in the national media.
There really is a concept of what makes a grifter, and this is an individual who gets so self-obsessed and so obsessed with things outside of their profession that they start inventing crazy new ways to gain attention. You see this on the left, you see it on the right, of course. But I was talking with a friend of mine who I won't name his organization, though he's on the left. He's extremely embarrassed of journalists inside his own organization, his own outlet, who have grossly ruined his ability to publish and spread his own stories over the last couple of years. He says, I put out something new, and everyone knows my colleagues being idiots so much, they don't even give whatever reporting that I've done like a second glance. And I feel for that. That sucks. But that is the bed they've made for themselves.
Chatting with Tony Kennett, host of the Tony Kennett Cast, coming up tonight, 7 o'clock after our show. He's also an investigative reporter at the Daily Signal. Man, Tony, it feels like we focus so much on the presidential race, the Senate and the House kind of being left out of a lot of conversations. I know in Montana, there's a damn good chance the Republicans steal that Senate seat. But what are we hearing about other key Senate races, House races, and how things could shape out on election night?
Pennsylvania, Ohio, and especially Wisconsin. Now, I remember telling you very explicitly, I said that Trump had won Michigan and he had lost Wisconsin. Now, unless something crazy happens at this point, I am prepared to say the way the trending data is going at this point, Trump wins both of those states. And in both of those situations, especially in in Wisconsin with Tammy Baldwin, he ends up carrying that Senate election. Tammy Baldwin losing that election and the Republican candidate coming forward, I think we're going to see a Republican Senate that might actually get up to 54 seats, which would just be unreal is the correct word for it. We haven't seen anything like this, and this hasn't been an exciting down-the-ballot election. That's just how much the Democrats have screwed themselves with Kamala Harris and old balls Tim Walz.
But every time it feels like we think that may be the case, Tony, here it comes, red wave, midterms. Historically, it's always a bloodbath. The Republicans find a way to trip over their own cranks and grab defeat from the jaws of victory.
Now, that's something I've said quite consistently, but I think there's one point that I really want to make here. There's a difference between confidence and overconfidence. Confidence does not mean that we all take a victory lap and, we all just kind of sit down and smoothly coast into this election season. No, confidence means, hey, what we are doing right now is working. Let's do more of what's working. Let's focus on the needs at hand. And I think that unlike the last couple of elections where Trump has stuck his foot in his mouth and he said, hey, let's not elect this senator, let's not get involved in this election, that's not occurring at the present time. There aren't any Senate elections so far, in which we actually have a president or a former president screwing over down the ballot races. Now, we do have that with former President Bill Clinton down in the South whenever they let him out of his coffin.
Right.
But not on the Republican side.
Man, you bring up coffin. And last thing here, and I'm not trying to be mean, and Boggs and I were talking about this earlier. Bringing Jimmy Carter out right now, am I the only one that's weirded out by it? Because he looks like a corpse. God bless him for hanging in there. The dude's been on hospice for over a year now, but those photos they put out of Jimmy Carter, it's kind of gross.
I think that it's embarrassing and it's rather humiliating to him, to be truthful with you. And I've said this. I know a lot of people disagree. I think every elder statesman of this country should be retiring and spending their last years with their family, relaxing, not being shoved back into this political meat grinder. I don't think it's good for the country, and I just don't think that's how we should treat our elderly.
What's coming up on the Tony Kinnett cast?
I've got some live from D.C. content. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to go get mugged down at Union Station. Maybe I'll do the mugging. You won't know until you tune in.
Swamp Monster, Tony Kinnett tonight, live from D.C., 7 o'clock right after our show. Tonus, be safe, man. We'll talk next week.
You know it.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's starting to be fall in Indiana, the perfect time to tackle home projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview so you could see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every single time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Jennifer McCormick backed Hillary Clinton for president. And when McCormick was in charge of education in Indiana, our schools ranked at the bottom. She even opposed school choice. Then McCormick backed Joe Biden for president and supported his $1 trillion spending scheme that caused all the inflation. Now she runs for governor on a plan that would increase your energy bills, create a new office of environmental justice, and ban gas stoves. Jennifer McCormick, hopelessly liberal.
This is Mike Braun. Here's my plan for Indiana. I'll enforce immigration laws even when the federal government fails to act, keeping our streets safe and secure. And my plan lowers more costs. I'll cut property taxes, reduce energy bills, and expand parental choice and school voucher programs. Indiana needs strong leadership. We can get it done.
Mike Braun, governor. Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Pat Sullivan here, hoping not to spook you, but did you know that you could have a pipe leaking and not even know it? My friends at Hope Plumbing highly recommend the installation of Streamlabs, which is a water leak detection at your fingertips. A Streamlabs system will detect, notify, and prevent possibly thousands of dollars worth of damage by automatically shutting off the water. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE to schedule an appointment to keep those pipes from giving you a fright.
Hey, diamond lovers. Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. When it's this important, you want someone who knows exactly how to work with your budget. Not against it. Someone who knows you deserve a piece more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've always sourced our diamonds and gemstones directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. So many in stock and ready to take home today. Create your dream engagement ring in 3 easy steps. Or pick a perfectly preset ring that's created by our in-house design team. Browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts for everyone in your life, from diamond and gemstone studs to must-have tennis bracelets and beautiful birthstone necklaces. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company is your go-to destination for fine jewelry. Visit shaneco.com and come in to see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of becoming part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
Dropping temperatures? B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical has you covered. Visit bplusw.com/radio today. B&W is your independent American Standard Air dealer.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Matthew McConaughey, what's going on?
All right. Southbound 65 is closed at West Street. In the meantime, we're stopped to 29th Street. The north end of downtown is congested, to say the least, especially approaching that Delaware Street on-ramp 270. On the south end, West Street busy as you approach the I-70 interchange. Also looking at the north side, eastbound 465 stop and go from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Crash Kentucky Avenue at West Street. Crash northwest side, West Lane Road at Michigan Street, and police activity on the east side, Franklin at East 52nd. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Get on the books now for a patio this fall. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, changing the way Indy thinks about concrete. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Sunshine 55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And let's do a little booze news.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present
Booze news, booze news.
Yeah.
Time for booze news.
From the obnoxious people who bring you dry January, now come sober October. A new poll found that 10% of Americans are doing sober October this month, and a recent survey found another 38% don't drink at all. So if you combine these numbers, Jeff, almost half the country isn't drinking right now.
Well, that's shocking. My goodness, I would think it would be way higher than that. Are we calling so sober? What was the name? November sober?
It's dry January.
Okay.
And then sober October.
And so they're going to go the whole month without drinking?
That's the goal, yes.
Why? What's the thinking? My goodness, maybe wait till after November 5th.
Who's more obnoxious about it? Dry January, sober October person that reminds you they're doing it all the time, or CrossFit guy or girl?
Oh, wow. That's close. Because, on Facebook, when people continue to remind you, hey, I stopped this, I stopped that, it's rough. It's almost like people talking about their bad beats in poker. Nobody wants to hear.
But their bad beats in sports betting, you can hear that at the Degenerates Next Door podcast. More booze news. Dateline, Michigan, a woman in Kalamazoo recently gave birth in the parking lot of a brewery. Her husband was rushing her to the hospital, but they didn't quite make it, and they had to pull over. So they named their new son Forrest Wells Baker, because Wells is the name of the brewery, One Wells Brewing. And now the owners of the place just returned the favor. Their newest beer is called Special Delivery. Here's the 911 call and the parents talking about dropping a shorty at the brewery.
Pull over someplace and tell me where we're at.
Can we go to One Well Brewing Company, that parking lot there?
We have a baby. She has a baby.
But the timing was literally perfect. Like he said, he threw the car in park, ran around,
open the passenger door just in time for the head to, be safely in his hand.
What are you laughing at?
That's wonderful. It kind of reminded me of when Captain Sully was trying to land the plane in the Hudson. Like the people are going, we need to pull into this brewery parking lot. It's really well done. There's a couple of stores I'm glad they didn't pull into.
Such as?
Dick's.
Okay.
Okay. But congratulations to both the parents and to the brewery. Well done.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, life for this child when he's talking about, tell me about my birthday. Well, your mom dropped her britches at the brewery. Next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, you were here.
Yeah, good for him. And it's exciting, growing up, he at least will always have a job. So good for him.
Not quite booze news, but I feel like this is worthy of our attention. DiGiorno, the pizza people, they're bringing back their Thanksgiving pizza this year. You can buy this in their stores. Instead of sausage and pepperoni, it's got roasted turkey, gravy, cranberries, green beans, sweet potatoes, crispy onions with mozzarella and cheddar cheese on a Detroit-style crust. This do anything for you?
It's exciting. I'm a little off DiGiorno. I think they changed their ingredients a while back, but it does bring up something I'd love to mention. We are now only 43 days away from Thanksgiving, which means if you cut out 300 calories per day between now and Thanksgiving, you can eat 12,900 extra calories. So plan ahead.
It's about time math started pulling its weight around this show. Finally, some math we can get behind. That is Jeff Boggs. You can find him on Twitter at @NotKennyRogers. I'm Jason Hammer. Top stories next.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens in Westfield. Enjoy this great time to plant and change your landscape and save in the process. This week at Sundown Gardens, it's 20% off container shrubs, 30% off container trees. Enjoy the fall season with great decor for your house, too. This week, it's 30% off interior fall